Oh, all right. We're here. We're here. Sorry, it is live. It glitched out a little bit on my end. What's
Mhm.
going on? What's going on? Let me get the chats open as well too. If you are just joining, we have an action-packed day. I'm going to be talking to five different founders throughout the crypto
Mm.
AI space today. First one is Esco with Hedgehog. Let me get the name banners up. Super excited for our conversation today. You are actually the first Sonic project I've ever talked to. I have very little, I have not little, I have zero exposure to Sonic. I don't know much about it, but I have looked into obviously prediction markets for a little bit. Um, how I like to start a lot of these, is really just diving into yourself as a founder, as a builder, your background in the space, whatever that history looks like. I like to categorize it as like origin story, right? Like Batman, Superman. Like how did you end up here? How did you end up building? Coming to build this product, and then going all the way deep diving into what you're building, why you're building it, and sort of what the future state could look like.
Yeah, of course. And I have to say that like I'm very flattered to be the first guest of your big stint, and even more flattered to be the first Sonic project on your podcast. So it's kind of a double double day for me.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so uh what we are building now is a prediction market for on-chain metrics. And basically little bit about my background. We built a, in fact, prediction market on 2020. We started to build Prosper. I was a head of product in there, and then it got acquired by Animoca Brands on 2021. And since then been basically very active in the space, very active in DeFi. And then idea of like the first, when we thought to build this hedgehog, it wasn't a prediction market idea for first. Like what we started to build was a infrastructure for hedging on-chain costs. So like gas fees was very high at the back then, and not even high, but like it was before introduction of blobs. So like the layer twos were paying like millions of dollars daily on transaction fees, like for settlement. And basically we were building infrastructure for these kind of big players who utilize a lot of block space for them to hedge that expense. But then after Denkan update, Ethereum Denkan update came, like those, and blobs came, like those fees and expenses like overnight dropped from millions of bucks to thousands in a day. So basically that market just vanished. And but then we kind of continued and kind of expanded the narrative to also include any on-chain costs. So basically, you have funding rates, Bitcoin transaction fees, any cost what you might have. We build a like infrastructure for that, and that is like a B2B product. But like if you look around, you see that we are like in very consumer orientated market, and we wanted to launch like a consumer product first. And this where the prediction market came along, so we kind of pivoted that for consumer product first, but we still stayed on our niche. So basically what we are doing now, launching like in very soon, is a prediction market for these same parameters. So it's a high frequency model. So basically you predict that will, let's say, base fee go up or down in next some seconds, or does the funding rates go up or down in next hour, or this all on chain metrics, and not kind of a long distance future IRL events, like more for high frequency happenings, like but specifically on the niche in the like on-chain metrics.
So you could say pretty. So you've been building this for a while, and essentially it's not what people would think of from traditional, if you could even categorize prediction markets as traditional at this point, because they're so novel and new. But really, it's a prediction market on-chain performance and transactions. So everything from gas fees to the volatility of on-chain assets in general. Am I understanding that?
Yeah, volatility. Like we can introduce assets, and I think at some point we will be introducing assets as well, because they can be done like in very high frequency. But the main narrative are those basically on-chain happenings. It can be stable coin issuance on some chain. Does it go up or down, or basically any on-chain parameters.
TVL revenue. So
Exactly.
you could basically gamble on, hey, who's going to have higher revenue, Pump Fund or Hyperliquid over the next 7 days?
Exactly, 100%. Yeah.
Very interesting, super cool. I do want to get. Obviously, we have a pretty limited time. We still have plenty of time here, but I do want to showcase the website, the Twitter, what it looks like. I actually wanted to ask you specific questions in regards to Sonic. Was there a specific reason for the Sonic blockchain? Is there sort of a competitive advantage with using that for this type of use case? I guess what were some of the thought process? How did you get connected with the Sonic team? Do you work closely with builders, etc.?
Yeah, so basically, Sonic approached us, but they wanted us to build some hedging product around their fee monetization model, and like then we kind of started to think what that model could be, and basically they were very collaborative, like to us to launch on their chain. They kind of promised like very good partnerships. We already received grants from Arbitrum and Optimism to build like on those respected chains, but I think like it was like after the one call with Sonic, it was very clear that which amount of support we will get from the chain and from the ecosystem would be a totally different than just some dollars what we would receive in some like other chain, because like dollars, you can acquire dollars. Like it's like the thing what you need, especially when you are coming up, that you need like really good support, and like Sonic did that for us. Like they opened a lot of made a lot of introductions with a Sonic's native protocols. We innovated a new form of bootstrap liquidity via soft staking, which is now also like live still, and we bootstrapped 4 million in LPs, like intent to LP on Sonic. But like the model is bit the same like in Polymarket. So basically the user won't even kind of need to bother in what chain they will using. Like it's you can deposit any token from any chain or like fiat. So basically that like it doesn't matter like in which chain user you are. I think it at this time like it shouldn't matter. Like the chain shouldn't matter. But of course, like Sonic with their like very high settlements, transaction per seconds with high frequency trading, that was very important. And yeah, since introduction we have been collaborated with them like very closely, been a speaker in lots of their different like events all over the world. Basically partnered with every single Sonic project, like top 15 project, and whitelisted their assets, like their token on our self-staking platform. So basically the holders of token got now possibility to soft stake and like start to earn our points and exchange for those rewards. they need to commit certain amount what they intend to LP pool when our mainnet is live. But yeah, like that was kind of the story behind Sonic.
No, that makes perfect sense from a performance standpoint, and it sounds like you actually have gotten quite a bit of, I don't want to say hands-on support, but just support in general from the
No, but
team.
also like hands-on support. Like you can ask like, well, marketing support, all the small things like technical support. If you basically, we are, I'm like to tell that like Sonic is, I feel that they're kind of our extension of our of our team. Like if we need to ask some chain specific technical integration, they're happy to provide like all the help.
So obviously, this a good way of looking at it, and it's funny because it's in the name, hedge, right? Being able to gamble on any on-chain metric essentially serves as a hedge against those same on-chain metrics. However, I do have a question as far as like, obviously AI is growing, right? It's advancing. That's one way I can,
Yeah.
right? AI is advancing every single day. We are seeing AI slot bots take over certain social media platforms, like even the one that we're on right now on Twitter. Are there any concerns or any sort of thoughts that you've had on preventing potential manipulation of on-chain metrics that could happen via AI? So, for instance, let's say if I am gambling on the performance or gas fees for a certain chain, and I can potentially manipulate that. Have you guys considered anything as far as that? Like, how are you hedging the hedge, if you will? Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, of course, you need to kind of adapt with the current situation. Also, you need to use AI like yourself. Like it's not like if you are not using AI yourself, it's like you are building, some analogic product in digital world. So like it doesn't make sense. But like for your example with base fee, we use a 50 steps like logarithmic moving average, which is not kind of a just the base fee price. So it's logarithmic moving average of the 50 previous blocks. So now if you want to manipulate base fee price, you need to manipulate 50 blocks. And there's like no financial incentive whatsoever to do that kind of. So we recognize these scenarios, these problems, and we have like mechanisms in the place to prevent all of this.
Got it. One of the other things I wanted to ask about, and I think this is important as far as like involvement. You have a campaign going on right now, Hog Rush app. So you have this app live in the App Store, Google Play?
No, it's a Telegram. It's a Telegram mini app, and it's super fun app. So basically, what that is, it's our points program. So what you do in the app, you do basic social quests. Follow, reshare, tweet, like, and you earn points. Okay, but how we hedgehog that up. So what you do in the app is that when you receive points, and you can gamble your points in there. So basically, we created a kind of a gas casino. So there's like a 15 seconds interval, and you just predict, does the gas go up or down in the next 15 seconds, like binary option model, and you can gamble your points in there, and that's super addictive. I can say, I can tell you.
Really cool.
Yeah. So I encourage everyone to try it. It's super fun, and yeah, we have like a good referral system in place. Like if you refer anyone, you receive 10% of their points, like always and always. So it's like very, very beneficial. And that landing web page you show that like it will be very different in the few. We rebranded. You see in the Twitter, like is in the X is more of like our color schemes and new like brand visuals. These are like old, and like in few days we are changing this landing as well to kind of refresh it a bit.
Of course, this is really cool. Okay, so modular, you're basically betting on gas fees. You're able to earn points. I think I sort of would assume the revenue model with this is you're taking probably a small fee on the different
Yes.
bets or placements, positions. And is there a token live, or are you eventually going to launch a token? I
Yes,
guess what does
yes.
that look like? Is there any tokenization of this as a product?
Yeah, token is not live yet. Token will be live pretty soon, and in tokenomics we have thought that how do you kind of, if you're a token holder, how can you benefit from the protocol itself? So we will be using like a big chunk of the fees will be allocated for the token buybacks then. So basically we want also kind of that the holders of the token benefit of the success of the platform and of the protocol itself.
Awesome. This is really, really interesting. And this is just to confirm, this is you can essentially place predictions or gamble, whatever you want to say. Gamble, you can place predictions across any
It's
blockchain.
the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. It's just nice. Nice word, like beautiful word for gambling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a new word for gambling. I
Yeah.
agree. I tend to agree. I know a lot of people might get a little upset at that, but I think it's the truth. It's the truth overall. So testnet is already live. I guess
Yeah.
timing for mainnet, is that going to come pre or post product tokenization?
Yeah, it will be like pre token, and it will be lying like really pretty soon, like really soon.
Incredible, incredible. So as far as like the follow-ups to this, as far as like how people can get involved, today, obviously you have the Telegram mini app live so that people can actually get some sort of experience with obviously operating this and placing predictions or gambles on, in this case, just base fee transactions, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And then you have a testnet product live where
Testnet product, this is more of the hedging side. This is like a V2 version. Like this is not prediction. The consumer, this is for the like V2, which is like a business hedging tool. So it's kind of it's used as a different model rather than like prediction market. Here you have like a liquid token which represents different on-chain variables like base fee or like whatnot. Yeah, but you can say that that kind of a soft testnet is the app. So there you can kind of have a little bit of idea what like the consumer product, what kind of it will be.
And then I guess for businesses, a good point that you brought up, and I kind of want to dive into it a little bit further, is so for businesses, right? Do you have or are starting to source like B2B clients? Are there other protocols that might see this as like, hey, we can park some of our treasury, some of our our funds here, essentially to protect ourselves in an oh shit scenario?
Yeah.
So it's insurance. This is basically insurance.
Yeah, exactly. And like particularly for them who spend a lot of like gas fees. And we have like partner, we have like Etherspot. They're working with they work on with account abstraction with Ethereum Foundation. Middle, which is a infrastructure provider on BTC ecosystem, and Picnic, which is a very big, like largest consumer app in Brasilia. So so we kind of have a good amount of clients to integrate this hedging solution, but our main focus right now is the prediction market. Like we are kind of locked into that consumer product first.
Got it. So then basically putting a consumer product out there, and then in the back end of this consumer product, what's actually giving it, I guess I don't want to say substance because it already had, consumer product is substance, but to make it more substantive, you also have essentially a B2B pipeline, which will basically add a stable amount of liquidity that is parked within this for a certain period of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, really cool. And do you already have, like, if I was to mess around with this testnet, is this real money? Is there already a certain amount deposited in TVL or?
No, it's run on Sepolia testnet. Like it's.
Okay, so no, okay, it's not exactly real funds yet. And just for the farmers, I know farmers very controversial out there, but for the farmers, are there some opportunities where they can get some exposure into Sonic? I don't know if there's a Sonic farming or any of that as a part of, like, where they can get some exposure to that from this as well too.
So basically, there's several ways. So we have a points program live, and the way you farm points is that you interact with the Telegram mini app, you play the casino, you do the social quest, you win or lose in the casino, like predict the base fee price in there, and we have the soft staking. And soft staking is now live on Sonic, Base, Ethereum, Plasma, and BNB. And there's like a respected whitelisted tokens what you can soft stake. And I quickly run by what is soft staking. And this is like we pioneered this, and I hope that this will be more adopted in the industry, because we kind of approved the ethos that it worked. Like we bootstrapped 4 million in intent to LP. So how it works? So how it works is that we whitelist a token, and so now the holder of the token can soft stake it. What it means that they on our platform, let's say you hold a, I don't know, let's say BNB or S, or like let's say Sonic token. You sign a signature that this is intent to commit, let's say $1,000 worth of S to the liquidity pool once the mainnet is live. So you do one signature and that's it. When you signed, you start to require our points, and they instantly start rolling. And it's non-custodial, so you don't deposit your funds anywhere. This is very important. So it's just a signature to kind of a signal to commit that liquidity. And so funds, like, they remain in your wallet. If you want to like stop soft staking, you don't need to do anything. You just withdraw, or you swap, or you whatever you want to do with your assets. And if we are taking periodical snapshots, if we see that there's no like committed assets anymore in your wallet, it just kind of stops to occurring those points. But it's not totally on a farm. So basically, when you sign that commit intent, you start to generate points, but those points and those rewards only become claimable after you go through with that intent. So after you deposit either on our mainnet, either deposit to the LP that intended amount, or you use Hedgehog and you generate fees with that amount, and that is also a signal of commitment. So then you are be able to claim those rewards, which points will give you. And yeah, of course, we don't expect that 100% will deposit, like 100% will of those 4 million will follow through and deposit to LP. But let's say like 10%, one of 10 like people user will deposit, it's still like 400k in LP, so it's still significant, liquidity.
That's a significant amount of money, and then obviously the yield that can then generate, especially if you're on both sides of the prediction.
Yeah.
Really interesting product. I think by positioning it or marketing it as a prediction market, it's a lot more digestible for consumers. I think once we get into the enterprise side of things, it could get lost for sure. But I mean, overall as a product, it sort of makes sense to hedge on fees that the largest dApps and on-chain revenue generators are going to be experiencing anyways.
Yeah, and there's like a funding rates, and there is and imagine when like the RVA became more adapted.
Of
Like
course.
you will have a banks, you will have institution pushing all the data on chain, and they will be and do paying a lot of fees yearly, even though if it's like a fraction of a cent per one transaction. Let's say like it will be scenario that it's basically free, but imagine you do trillions and trillions and trillions of transactions. Like it accumulates in big things, and the companies like we view the block space, how everything started is that block space is a commodity, and companies who utilize commodity, let's say airplane company uses jet fuel, they hedge on that like oil price for the jet like fuel price. Like companies who utilize a lot of electricity, they hedge on the price of electricity. So in like hence like you have a blockchain company pushing a lot of data, you utilize commodity which is block space. So now it just makes sense you to hedge on that, on that expense. But that is more of like an infra play.
Yeah.
Like in that scenario, we don't want to be visible. Like nobody would need to know that like in the back end this hedging is done via hedgehog. This is just kind of an infra play. The consumer product is a consumer product, is a prediction market. That's kind of our face of everything. But the hedging infrastructure, it's very like invisible.
Makes sense. Esco, appreciate you. I have gotta hop
Thank
on
you.
the
I know you have a lot of appreciate you having us, and like thank you.
appreciate you. Should have some clips and some other video formats coming out within the next 24 to 48 hours. Really, really interesting discussion. I'm gonna dive in and check it out. At least the retail side of things myself. So really,
Yeah.
really cool. Thanks again for your time, bro.
Thanks, mate. Thanks,
All
man.
right. Ciao. Woo! All right, guys. We're gonna keep the ball rolling. Next, we have Purple Trade, Perps Dex on Monad, Perps on the Purple Chain. What's going on, G-Van? I
Yo.
have, dude, we followed each other for like the last few years. I remember you from the Sappy Seals community. I love seeing like OGs at this point, like people that were like just, starting out on CT a few years ago, like actually running shit now. I was like so surprised. I was doing the live stream with Benja, and the chat was like, dude, check out Purple, check out Purple, check out Purple.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I can't DM the page. And like, oh, dude, you gotta hit up Gvan. I hit you up. I'm like, dude, what the hell? This is awesome. This is really, really cool. One of the things that I think I've like been most excited about with the Monad ecosystem, it seems like all the founders, all the builders, all the developers, like it's like you guys are all on the same team. Like there's a lot of PvP and shit, and it just seems like people are like genuinely trying to support one another, which is awesome. This is awesome. You don't really see that in many ecosystems. Thanks for taking time today. Yeah.
Thank you for having me, man. Same, dude. Same. It's great to see you popping off. Also, I'm glad you're doing the live streams. I thought people started panic pinging me. They were like, "Dude, Benja's on Faded," and they're talking about you. Get on, get on, get on. And I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I was doing some work. I was preparing a campaign because we're like in the middle of our launch, and people were like, "Dude, you gotta go. You gotta talk to Faded." So I was like, "Okay, I gotta talk to Faded." But yeah, dude. Everything you said is right, dude. It's an exciting time. Like we're launching, Monad is going live. We just launched our testnet. And to answer like to what you said about the ecosystem itself, I've been on crypto Twitter like a lot for years now, yeah. And I was doing like general CT stuff. I was doing Jivan looking into our source. What does that mean, dude? It's my haircut, dude. Somehow this is about my hair. Okay, let me
Hey, it's
focus
bullish.
now.
It's bullish. I'm balding too, bro. Look,
Hell
listen.
yeah, dude.
Bald is bullish right now.
Hell yeah, dude. It was bearish a few years ago. People were like, they were bearish because of this, but now they're like, they respect the bold growth guy, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, dude, I've been in Monad for a couple of years now. I can tell you for a fact, man, like, I don't think I have never been in an ecosystem that works like that. I can confidently tell you that most of the founders, like have been my friends for years now. I've seen people grow from, small accounts who are just hanging out and hanging out in Discord to full blown, main actors right now. So it's bullish. I'm proud of everyone, and we haven't even started yet. It's absolutely mental. Like we are almost there. There was a point in time when I thought it was a meme chain and it was literally just a Discord server, but looks like they're actually gonna do the thing and launch a chain. So crazy
No,
times.
makes perfect sense.
How about you, man? How you been? How you been doing, dude? I see you popping off on CT. What the hell?
I've been good, man. I've been doing these streams. I've been doing at least three, like between 3 and 5 days a week. Some of the streams I'm going over either like info fi campaigns, airdrop opportunities, and then for the most part, I'd say 60 to 70% of the streams, I'm talking to founders and builders, which I think is very valuable from the sense of like,
Okay.
at the end of the day, before working on or working with Purple, right? Like you just started as someone on CT at one point, right? And I think there's so many people that watch these streams and that participate in CT every day that don't realize the future impact that they can and will have. So that's sort of my thing. Is like I saw what happened with like the meme coins, and I saw what happened with even Perps Dexus to a degree, $20 billion wipeout a month ago. And I just think that retail is going to be led in to get slaughtered. So I hope to provide information that can help make people money at the end of the day, but at relatively low risk, as
Yeah.
opposed to and there's risk with anything, right? But at least if someone is getting a part of a ecosystem early, like Monad, yeah, there was a risk to you doing that. You could have wasted your time for a year. I don't know when you got involved, but
2 years, dude.
2 years, right? So you could have been
Yes.
wasting your time for the last 2 years. So yes, there's still a risk to it, but there's also a massive fucking payoff. I don't know how big of a airdrop or allocation or how much support you're getting, but like I'm sure it's gonna pay off. Like I'm sure, I'm very fucking positive that it's gonna pay off. But you might not have necessarily seen that 2 years ago, being so early to the Monad eco.
Dude, I think this by itself is a very interesting topic, and frankly, it's one of those things that if I could go back and look at my own decisions, what I've done in the past 4 or 5 years that I've been in actively participating and trying to make a career in the space, like the moment of me making the decision to join Monad has been the most key decision for me ever, right? Because like you said, like there's always risk, and I have been a trader first. I came in as a trader, and I was like, I got to a point where I could live off of trading and the crypto space. But then when you pick a lane for yourself, it becomes so much easier. Like for me, there was a point in time where I said, traditionally I'm a software developer, by the way. Like that's what I studied and that's what I did before crypto. But I was like, I don't really want to do that. Like it's boring to me. Like I like talking with people, I like hanging out, I like trying to help other people do their thing. I like making noise, I enjoy virality, I enjoy the game, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
the
there
game.
wasn't. And also, I chase upside, dude. Like I want to be involved in something great. I cannot just be like a cog in a big system. Because I was working as a software developer at a bank back in my Web 2 days, and I was like, dude, this cannot be life, dude. Like I'm just looking at the screen, I'm just making this tiny bullshit script that nobody gives a fuck about, and it's like it's not good enough. So what I'm getting with this is that 2 years ago, I figured, Monad looks sick. I started talking with the team. They explained to me the bull case. I understood the tech, why it makes sense. It made sense for me. I thought it's something needed in the crypto space. So they themselves, like the entire team, helped me feel comfortable quickly. I got close with King Louis and Small Mobster. Small Mobster is another guy who has been around for some time. We started doing spaces specifically around Monad with some of the OGs. I got into the close circles very quickly. I got very close with the team. They invited me to IRL events. They've been doing so much in IRL events, and they made sure I attend a bunch of them, so I become IRL friends with the community. And then there was no way out, because yeah, eventually they connected me with the purple team. I remember like I started working for Monad eventually, like running one of their chats on Telegram. And then I started looking at the ecosystem because I was like, I gotta find like a killer project and tie my entire future with that one project, and then make it be my baby. And then Tunes connected me with Purple, with the founders of Purple, like a year ago. I think it's like literally 1 year ago, 1 year and 2 weeks maybe. And I started talking with the founders, PBJ, and another person who's not public, but I started talking with PBJ back then, and he explained how him and AC have been building together since 2012, and they're like these Jedi developers trying to come to Monad and build the first Pertex that is like fast performant and built on a decentralized DVML1. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. No, it's a bullish, and I wrote this yesterday too. Is like, obviously we saw Hyperliquid. We saw recently Asterdex, Apex. So I think it was by like the Bybit team or one of the central exchanges, EdgeX. In terms of revenue today, Perpstexes are taking over multiple different blockchains and in different areas and capacities. So I'm immediately the thing that I recognize as far as like you could say bullish narrative, whatever, but I think it'll actualize into reality is that, well, if this is the flagship perp stacks of Monad, which is a highly performative ecosystem, that has to mean something, right?
Exactly.
Like, yes, there's a lot of other competitors out there dominating specific blockchains and ecosystems, but this is a little bit different. So I did want to dive into like, I guess some of the differences. Like, you don't have to get super into like the technical weeds, but like, I guess what does make this stand out in general? Like, why Monad? I'm sure Monad does offer some advantages as far as running a perpstex on there, but like,
Yep.
what would that look like? If I'm the number one whale on Hyperliquid, why should I consider, hey, maybe I should bring my volume over here?
Yep. No, I feel that. Dude, first of all, like regarding what you said about Perdexes in general, right? I genuinely think Perdexes is the most successful product crypto has ever come up with. Like, if I remember correctly, I think it's like 80% of the total volume is like perps, which is insane if you think about it. And if you like look at the volume itself and you see how much of that is still happening on CEXs, dude, it's mental. Like, we always talk about how do you fare against hyperliquid, but reality, we are still so early in the transfer of wealth, of volume from CEXs to DEXs, where we're still at the point of like growing the pie. Like, we're very early in the part of growing the pie for perp dexes compared to CEXs. But so that's one thing that, in my opinion, is very important because we are early in the perp dex meta, in my opinion, right? But from
Yeah.
that point on, when you sorry, my screen, I'm using like a screen to get light on me, and it keeps going. Anyways, yeah. Now, when it comes to actually comparing dexes, I'd rather not like compare directly, but I'll tell you like my 2 cents on why I think purple makes sense. And to answer directly your question, why would you move money, right? First of all, like for purple, one thing that we're trying to do is like is build the most resilient perp dex you can have. Like, there's many things that the team is doing to make sure that it's a perp dex that just doesn't break no matter what. And that is something for mainnet, obviously, but that is one thing that we really care about. The other thing is Monad itself, right? Monad itself is an EVML1, and it's a decentralized one, which means that you can have a true perp dex. Essentially, you have a perp dex that is not, how do I say this in a civilized way? An app chain, let me put it like that, is essentially you control everything. You play on God mode. Like, you have access to the whole stack. With Purple, you don't. It's built on an AVML1 that is actually decentralized, and then the Perplex is built on top of it, which means that you get the real experience of a DEX, decentralized or decentralized entity, and you get that without compromising the speed, because Monad allows you to go fast, and then essentially you get the first time of a club existing on a chain that also is decentralized and safe. And the key point here is safety, right? You remain safe. You have all the stuff in place, so you don't have situations like Jelly Jelly or Hyperliquid. Because in our case, like, we are Monad. We cannot just do what happened there. So we have to play by a set of rules that allows us to avoid situations like that. So yeah, to answer your question, it's a new perp dex. There's a lot of value in being early and stuff like that. Obviously, um, we're opening our gates in a month or so for the public for mainnet, maybe a little bit more. Like this is like me jamming, just giving out a random date. Nobody take it personally, but you know, it's a monad. It's the most resilient.
Right,
It's
yeah,
by far. It's by
yeah.
far the most gas optimized perplex you will ever find. I genuinely hope everyone goes to purple and tries to put in transactions and check like the gas and compare with any other product out there. So yeah, I hope that answers the questions, man.
No, for sure, for sure. And just to kind of like run it back as far as like explaining it a little bit, and I think you bring up a good point, is that really you can't look at it as perp dexes versus perp dexes because truly the overall pie is still continuing to grow. When you look at dexes versus sexes, especially from a perps standpoint, account for. I'm just going to take your word for it. I obviously think you know what you're talking about. 80%,
I
right?
think
So
it's
that
8%. Yeah.
it's 80%. We've already seen, I think, with just overall on-chain volume, and this was a month or two ago, last time I checked. But Dexes did overtake Sexes from just like coins, just I believe just like swap volume. I don't know. I highly doubt that was actual perps volume because obviously you still have the Binances of the world out there. So reality is you're and also too, as far as even being like perps dexes versus sexes, the overall pie is growing, right? Like more people, let's say more people get into sexes. How I think it might turn out, and it maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I see maybe sexes become the default retail onboarding path after someone gets a little bit more experienced or has a bad experience, perhaps, maybe they would say, hey, I'm going to pivot into dexes where it is more decentralized. I have a little bit more control and it's potentially more or just as performative, right? Like, I guess what would, if you were to compare the overall performance, and does this have an open order book? Like, would it have a completely open, transparent order book similar
Yep.
to? Really? Okay. That's cool.
Dude, by the way, have I given you access? I hope I haven't given you
You
access,
did, you
but
did. I haven't, I'll be
and
completely honest. I've been so busy with like the
dude,
stream
of course.
and everything else.
I just
I haven't touched it yet. But I would love to, I don't know if maybe I
dude,
can use sign up right now.
generally, like to answer your question, I think that what's gonna happen long term is just Perpdex is overtaking everything. Like again, I think it's the most successful product, and there's no reason for people to keep trading on Binance. Like things are gonna come on chain more and more, and it's down to having the rails to let retail come in and not have like infinite friction on every turn, right? And it's like, look at what Monad is doing right now. Like, I think people are underestimating the importance of the Coinbase sale. Like, yes, it's good. It's like bullish. They're selling some supply over there, but the fact that they're getting in through Coinbase on their first signature, ICO is like it's gonna open the floodgates, in my opinion, for a lot of retail attention. And for us, like, I don't see much reason why people can't trade on Purple. Like, and why would they go to Binance at this point? Like, the way we are already at a place where it's easy, right? You can deposit from anywhere, and you're gonna be seeing this like very soon when we go on mainnet. But for Purple, you're gonna be able to deposit from any chain, like anywhere. Like, it's gonna be like a couple of clicks, and you're there trading. The interface itself, it's already at a great place. Obviously, we're still at testnet, and honestly, the UI itself, like it's expected to have bugs. We didn't really try to make it perfect for day one, but by the time we hit mainnet, the UI is gonna be up to par with what Binance is offering. The onboarding experience is probably simpler. There's no KYC that you need to go through. There's a couple of clicks and you're good to go. Wallets are getting better and better. We're getting mobile apps for wallets. We're gonna get a mobile app for Purple eventually. So, we're getting to a point where I don't see why we cannot just grow the pie so much that it doesn't even compare to what it is right now for Perplex. It's still the best business model, the best product that crypto has ever come up with. And in my opinion, it's up only from here. I don't see any reason, even a bear market. I don't think it's honestly going to be as bad as people think for products that have a real market fit and revenue model.
No, for sure. I just want to catch up with the chat here. We have some interesting comments as well. So, we have a question or two. GM Spidey, GM Alpha House Clips, GM Faded HQ, GM Vic, Humble, OX A Rich, Dev, Aramat, Asper. Yeah, what's up, everybody? What's going on, chat? And also, excellent point here from OX A Rich. Mostly people begin their trades on DEXs when they realize they can receive some rewards here. So I had some questions regarding that, regarding rewards. Obviously, we saw how Hyperliquid came to market. Their go-to-market plan, they went product first. They essentially fee farmed. Hey, I'm just going to call it what it is. We'll call it what it is. They fee farmed. Everyone says it's a bad thing. I don't think so. You're proving that you have product market fit. Now you actually have liquidity to launch a token, to tokenize your product. I'm imagining at some point, Purple will likely be tokenized, perhaps.
Listen, I'm gonna answer with words that I can use officially. Um, Wait, let me see what the tweet was. Yeah.
Shit.
So yesterday we announced the tournament. Yeah, I'm just gonna read out the prizes for you. Okay. The first prize is 5,000 purple points. Okay.
Okay.
So I think that answers your question more than anything else. So 5,000 purple points, 5,000 AUSD, that is 5,000 USD from the Agora stable point. We're giving away a car, um, our founder's car. It's not a good car. In his defense, it's a very crappy car. Like he's driving a 2012 Honda Civic, dude. And I'm like,
that's baller, bro. I want to win that.
dude, I know it's border because like PBJ said it's indestructible. And I told him, you know what, dude, you don't need a car. Like we're going into mainnet, you gotta give away your car. So we're giving away the car, we're giving away 3 chalk lists, 3 spike lists, and it's like literally priced from every project on earth. So I hope this like answers the question to some extent. This is what we got for testnet. And yeah, just to say directly, like we're gonna have a point system, of course. That is why we have purple points up for grabs for testnet. We figured it's a nice way to introduce them in a contest and show some love to the early supporters who have access to the perp decks and let them compete for it in a fair way. Let the best trader win. And then eventually, when we go into mainnet, things are going to happen. I don't know when it's going to introduce officially, but it's going to be there. Like that one, I can't confirm.
Things will be there. Things are happening.
Things will be there. Things will be there.
Yeah. Something coming. Something soon.
Maybe something,
Maybe
probably
something.
nothing. Who knows, dude?
Probably
Hearing
nothing.
things.
Probably
hearing
nothing.
things, man.
I'm just hearing things. Just hearing things. Just
dude.
hearing
God says purple points. To be honest, that's it.
Okay, so that answers the question. There will be a points farming leaderboard mechanism. It's technically already live in the testnet. And yeah, that's pretty much that. So I think an interesting thing that does happen here, obviously you have Monad, who just announced the tokenomics. I think it's like 25 or you could correct me if I'm wrong. It's like 30% or something like that, right? 25 or 30% is for future community rewards. So there's that aspect, and then there's purple points farming. So reality is, if somebody's already interested in getting exposure or getting involved with the Monad ecosystem, this could be a good pathway if this is something they're already doing. If you're already perps trading or have an interest in perps trading, and you do it here, not only can you potentially have a better overall user experience, but you're also gaining points and gaining Monad exposure at the end of the day.
Dude, a few things I want to comment, right? One thing is what you said about Monad, right? 30% is going to ecosystem incentives. I could be wrong too. Like I don't remember the actual number, but somewhere there, right?
Yeah.
That is like partly the answer to your first question, right? Why would you move to what is the benefit of building a Monad, and what is the unique selling point for Purple, this is one of them, dude. Like you're building on an L1, which means that you have an ally. It's two entities working together. Like I tweeted this exact thing. I said, if Purple wins, Monarch wins. If Monarch wins, Purple wins. And it's like for the native Vertex, the flagship Vertex is that important that for the chain, in my opinion. So that's one thing. The other thing is, oh man, I forgot what I was about to say. Yeah, if you're into Vertexes, if you're into Monad, in both cases, trading on Purple is probably a very wise idea. Um, and for us right now, I just want to mention this. We have the tournament starting on Tuesday. On Monday, everyone who is already in Purple is going to get an invite. And I haven't said this publicly, so I'll say it now for the people who are here so they know. The invite code that they're gonna get is essentially the first referral. So the person that they onboard is gonna be their first referral that's going to be, carrying over from mainnet. And the people who make it into the testnet, that they're gonna have access to Purple on day one. No, like the people who are actively trading, contributing on the testnet are going to be the initial user base that get access to Purple on mainnet on day one, and they're gonna get a set of benefits on mainnet, obviously, to make them start out strong. So in generally, I'm just gonna try to make sure that our early supporters are gonna be happy and feeling at a good place. But yeah,
No,
TLDR
yeah.
Monday invites drop, Tuesday tournament. So, probably a good time to get involved, get your invite, and participate in the tournament before Monarch Maiden launches. And, we start looking at that on November 24th.
100%. And not to push too much of a speculative angle on this, but we did see some of the earliest Hyperliquid supporters literally get fucking rich, bro. Some people got millions of fucking dollars because they got into the ecosystem early. Then they sent out all their ref links. So I see why you're doing phased ref links, because like if the most loyal community members are going in and then they're getting all of their people in, theoretically they would be rewarded the most for being early community customers, clients, and advocates, which is the whole point of decentralization, right? It's like, hey, instead of making these central exchanges billions of dollars every year, we can split that pot up just a little bit more equitably. So I think that's sort of the promise with perps dexes and just dexes in general, to be honest.
I can't comment on half of that, but on the part that I can comment is like Hyperliquid was a movie. I had a lot of friends who were very, very involved since the very early days. And I'm trying to spend as much time as I can speaking with them every day, understanding because I do love Hyperliquid, the way they're doing things, and I think they're doing a lot of things right. And I'm always trying to learn by watching the way they operate. So yeah, dude. On my end and on our end, we want our users. We have been live. I mean, live as in we have a Discord and we've been public, right, for over a year now, and we had a lot of people who have contributed very meaningfully, like 0x Erich, right? The person who sent the message earlier has been like in our community since day one, and he has been running weekly events with me in the Discord. He's been contributing doing TA. He's been doing so much, and it's like the same with Aromat and a lot of other people who I saw in the chat. And I feel like it's only right. That's the entire point of doing the decks and having the community building process and finding those key people and traders who are gonna champion the product and do their part to grow the protocol and the community, and hopefully everyone succeeds in the process. Let me put it like that.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really big, excellent point. And it's quite an opportunity. It's quite an opportunity that's in front of people, especially the market's been shit lately.
Oh yeah,
A
dude.
lot of people have lost a lot of money over the last 30 to 40 days. So realistically, like if you're, you want to find these opportunities that like is kind of getting lost in a sea of FUD, like overall market FUD. I think that's usually when there's like diamonds in the rough that are just there that nobody's fucking paying attention to. and it just
Dude,
comes out and just, whoa, what the fuck? How did I miss this?
remember,
You know?
remember the bear market last time, dude? Like so many diamonds in the dirt. That was when the opportunity showed up for real. Like in the middle of the bull run, it was already late. Like you either knew about stuff or you didn't. Like the bear market was the best time for finding, those gems and actually being early. Like when everyone is like trying to find the next big thing, like you can't find shit. But it's time like this that people can really find those opportunities that really matter, right? And yeah, I don't, I'm not saying I hope for a for a bear market. I don't, but listen, dude. For me, the most life changing period was the bear market. Like that is when things changed for me. That is when I managed to make those key moves that changed the trajectory of my own career and my own portfolio. So it
Oh,
is what it is. We work with what we have.
1000%. And I agree, dude. Every time the market gets slow or shitty, um, bro, it just means there's more opportunities and there's
I know.
less people competing for those opportunities because the fair weather fans, the people that were just here for up only, they're fucking gone. They're tourists. They're only here for a little bit. They already either made their money or got fucking rinsed and they're gone. They're not coming back. They're gonna come back once shit looks crazy again. So this is the time, I think, for builders, content creators, founders, devs, creatives, like whatever the fuck you do, whatever you like doing, whatever you can and do contribute into the space. I think this is the time you fucking double, triple, quadruple down and really, take advantage of everybody else moving slow, everybody else being in their feelings, everybody else like, oh man, like it's all over. Okay, you could sit there and think it's all over. I'm gonna go out and fucking find these opportunities and take the biggest advantage of them. Our next guest is a little late. I already messaged him. I don't know what's going on with him, but we still have a little bit more time, and we still have some good questions and comments and feedback from the chat. So I actually had any mainnet predictions or like what do you think is going to happen mainnet? Are there specific things that are tying in with Purple into mainnet? Like what can people expect? We're 10 days out. We're literally 10 days away. What are you expecting? What are you thinking is going to happen?
I'll give you predictions for both, Purple mainnet and Mona mainnet. Yeah. For Purple, it's like for us it's clear. It's a week one. We're trying to fix bugs. Thankfully, the smart contracts are working flawlessly so far. We're having zero issues. That would have been the real problem because it would need more audits and stuff like that. But for us right now, most of the feedback that we're receiving is just UI stuff or things that we have in the pipeline and we're already doing. So hopefully for us, so far so good. So we're aiming for like going live after a couple of. Oh my God! Did Raidbird Sports just call me bald?
Bro, the
Oh my God! Dude, did Protocol
dude,
just called me bald, dude?
yeah, dude, you got the chat going
Oh,
crazy.
that's
But
wild.
we do have the next guest, Sapien, is here. I do want to thank you for your time and do a quick little. If you guys haven't checked it out, Purple at Purple Trade. It is the flagship perp dex of Monad.
Hey,
Really, really cool. I'm gonna test out
one
the.
last thing, dude.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having me. Feel free to distribute 5 invite codes to whoever you want in the chat. I don't know, like whoever is
Hey,
spamming.
let's fucking go.
Do whatever you want with it. These are yours. Thank you for having me and chat soon, man. Appreciate you. And when you have Rarebird Sports, please tell them I love them. All right.
All right. Sounds
All
good,
right.
bro.
Good.
Thank you. Appreciate you, G-Man.
Thank you.
Peace
Catch you
out.
later. Bye.
Damn, guys, that was cool. That was awesome. All right. We're going to hop right into the next one. We're a little bit 4 minutes behind. Join Sapien here. Really, really cool AI product looking to monetize, decentralize human data. So we're going to get into the weeds of that. It could get a little complex, but I'll try to make it as simple as possible for you guys. Go on. What's up? What's going on? How are you doing?
Doing
Good.
great. How are you?
Good, man. Happy Friday. A little bit of a rainy day here in LA. It's been all gray and gloomy. Market's not doing too hot either. So we're just making the most of it, learning, connecting, and looking for some of the best opportunities in emerging tech, crypto, and AI. I think I've been somewhat familiar with your project over the last few months. I'll be honest, I've never done like a full deep dive. which is totally okay, because I like sort of finding out things in real time with the audience, with the chat. They get to ask questions. I'm coming in completely raw, fresh, authentic, learning these things in real time. Just as a briefer, Rowan is the CEO and founder of Join Sapien, at Join Sapien, which is, I don't even want to know. Honestly, I don't know if I can concisely explain the product, which I'll leave up to you. But before we kind of get into that, something that I always love to start with, even if it's just for a few minutes, 3-5 minutes, however long you want, is a little bit of your background. Obviously, as a crypto founder, how did you originally get involved with crypto? Sort of what was that origin Batman story like, and into eventually building your own stuff, which I think is super inspiring, not only for myself, but a lot of other people watching as well too.
Man, I am the worst Batman ever. I do love some of the things that Batman does, though. I'm a whore for anything with an engine. So I started in the energy industry. I'm actually from Scotland. I now live in Panama. Been in Panama for 5-6 years at this point. You look like you're in somewhere similarly warm and cool. I don't know what background I'm seeing, but it looks pretty epic.
LA. Yeah.
You in LA? Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit further down the coast. And so in Scotland, there's really only one industry. It's like heavy engineering, oil and gas, energy. We do a little bit of finance. We do a ton of whiskey. Don't know if anyone here likes whiskey, but kind of the home of whiskey. And so really, when you leave school, you go into one of those things. You do engineering work in the oil and gas industry, or you go and do whiskey, or you do fish or something. And so I landed in the energy industry. I built a career on the business side. I absolutely hated it. Did nearly a decade, like way longer than I should have. Worked up from pretty junior roles up to exec level, and ultimately just bailed. For me, crypto was an escape chute. A friend of mine told me that I could point my gaming PC towards a network and earn magical internet beans. And so that was pretty interesting. I got very carried away very quickly. I ended up having multiple graphics cards running in my office, and then had a couple of rigs with 12 each. And then from there, I just got totally carried away. Ended up filling my office, filling my spare room, filling my garage, and quite quickly mining Litecoin, mining Darkcoin, mining Dash, mining a whole bunch of random OG shitcoins, to be totally honest. Became more profitable than being an exec in the oil and gas industry. And so I took that as my chance to leave. I did something that all of my friends thought was absolute suicide. I dumped all of my life savings. I remortgaged my house, and I went hard on setting up a mining operation and doing it properly. Did that for a couple of years, and then I got involved in setting up an early ZK protocol, a fork of Zcash. And we basically took AppLogic, took ZK to AppLogic. We grew that to just over $1 billion, $1.5 billion. Got it listed pretty much everywhere. We were way too early, like way too early. At that point, zero knowledge cryptography. Nobody really had a clue what it was. From a government and regulatory perspective, it was seen as the devil, because we were obviously cyber criminals and whatever. And so that business has pivoted a bunch of times. I took a step back, did some VC work, did some DeFi summer stuff, helped create some of the early charting tools for on-chain liquidity, helped create the very first DEX aggregator, ultimately sold that business to Coinbase, spent a few years building with Coinbase, primarily on-chain focused stuff. We were trying to bring Coinbase more meaningfully on-chain, and ultimately co-created Base, Coinbase's layer 2. That was the last big product that I took to market. And then spent a year or so doing that before I took some time out to go back to Europe. I needed to be with family, unfortunately. And so Europe versus LA time zones do not work. And my plan was take a year out, do nothing after doing a lot for a long time. And I failed. I failed miserably. Now we're building Sapien. And the short version is we're taking all of the lessons that we've learned around using incentives to drive the right behaviors from the kind of on-chain world, and we're deploying them to solve the data problem for AI. And really the short version of what that is, I don't know how familiar folks here are with AI, but ultimately think of an AI model as a kid. You give that kid a great education, tons of useful materials, it's going to turn into a useful adult. You give it crappy data, crappy education, it's going to be a horrible adult. And so the data problem exactly like that. Our job is to answer two key questions for AI builders and AI developers. Who created the data, like the provenance of the data, and can the data be trusted? And so we've created a protocol called Proof of Work. It's exclusively designed to answer those questions, and we are currently scaling early iteration of the system and have people all around the world contributing knowledge, contributing data, and importantly, helping make sure the data is high quality so that we can deliver it to customers like Amazon Zoox, Toyota, Midjourney, Lenovo, Baidu, Tencent, et cetera, et cetera. So that's us. That's me. Great to be here.
And you said, I have kind of a boring origin story, blah, blah, blah. And then you, dude, well, just to kind of summarize, executive in the commodities industry, right, and oil, gas, right, resources, natural resources, you could say, and that's actually what data has been compared to ever since, even when I was back in college, when I was studying data analytics. That's one of the things one of my professors used to always say, data is the new oil, right? Like, we've heard that for the last decade now. But really, really interesting story, starting from essentially like the raw, earthly, like organic materials, being an executive in that space, sort of getting, I don't want to say burned out, but tired of it, not necessarily as excited in regards to that. To co-creating Base, you like glazed over that super quick. Like, I don't know if I heard that correctly. You worked with Coinbase and you actually helped put together the Base layer 2. That's like, dude, that's incredible. That's really awesome. And then I fully agree with you as far as, well, not even agree, it's just objective fact. AI, as much as people are afraid of it and they're like, hey, it's going to take over our jobs and ruin the world and Terminator and iRobot, it's like, no, dude, AI is only as good as the humans who are feeding it. We are like, I don't want to say parasites to a host, but in some way every day we are creating new data that is fed into AI and used to better optimize those models. A lot of people don't realize that it's very resource intensive. And there's actually a relatively high risk with doing that, right? Like, if we're feeding it bad data, we can perhaps enable bad AI, I guess. I do want to pull up the main page, just in case anyone is not familiar, at Join Sapien, sapien.io. And I like that you have two different sides of essentially your like web presentation. One is built for enterprise companies who are going to need these solutions today, not even in the future, today. And then one is a little bit more, I would say, maybe consumer focused for people to get involved in actually providing their human data. And so now that we like kind of like as a brief overview of like what problem this is solving, I guess what I would love to learn a little bit more from you is like, how does it work? Like, how does it work? I see there's tasks, there's like quests, like task campaigns. Are users all over the world? Is it open to anyone? Can we just go in there and start doing these tasks? How are we compensated? Is it on-chain compensation? I don't know. I got a billion questions now. But I guess to start with, like, how does it all work? How does it all connect?
So we are learning from the on-chain world and applying that logic here. The way that data typically, at least for the past few years, has been gathered, it's kind of pretty extractive. It's not something that companies should be proud of. It's spin up giant warehouses full of people in the developing world, pay them 2/5 of nothing, and use their information, use their knowledge to build literally some of the most sophisticated technology humans have ever created. And so our core thesis when we started is like, there's got to be a better way to do this. And we've been building in the on-chain world for a long time. And so we take a different viewpoint that most Web2 companies would. And so the way that we're doing this is enabling anyone, anywhere to participate. It's completely open. That's the very first piece. The second piece is that if you open it to anyone, your biggest problem is going to be making sure you get good quality outputs. And there's a big difference between having a bunch of people in an office and managers breathing down their neck, making sure they do good work, versus having someone between Uber trips or sitting on the bus or like in between classes at school. And so the level of quality you're going to get is vastly different. And so then the problem space became, all right, how in a world where we enable everyone to participate, can we ensure that the quality remains super high? And so as with any problem in the on-chain world, we've seen it as a problem of incentives. There needs to be significant incentive to do good work and a significant disincentive to do bad work. And so the logic is really simple. I believe a chunk of your audience are crypto native, so I think I can speak in kind of pretty open terms. Just think Ethereum proof of stake. Ignore the consensus mechanism. That's not relevant here, although a variation of it is. Just think about the economic model for proof of stake. It's simply put your money where your mouth is, do work, as in validate transactions, and then if you do good work, because you're being honest, you get paid. You get a yield from the network, essentially. And if you do bad work, or if you cheat, if you're a bad actor, if you're malicious, they're going to slash your stake. So we take that exact economic model. We're not reinventing the wheel here. That works for hundreds of billions of dollars of value. So why would we change it? And we're applying that logic to the data problem. And so users come in, they complete really simple tasks initially, tasks that anyone can do, and tasks that don't require crazy expertise or nuanced understanding of something specific. And they build up like trust in the system essentially over time. And they also build up some stake in the system. So when they're doing work, they're getting paid by default 80% in stablecoins, USDC on base, and 20% in Sapien tokens. And the 20% is so that they can build some ownership in the system. And importantly, so they don't have to buy their way in here. I kind of feel like the old step-in style model of like, come and earn some money, but before you earn some money, come and give us your money. Like that's
it's like an
so
yeah.
There needs to be like a real way of someone earning their way into the system, earning the trust, earning the stake. But ultimately, the way it works is put your money where your mouth is as collateral against your work, do some work. And if that work is good, get paid more. You get a multiplier for your quality. And if that work is bad, or if you're cheating, or if you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, we'll slash your stake, and that goes to the treasury. And so it's literally ETH proof of stake economics applied to the data problem. And the cool thing is, it works. We have 3 months of data so far since launching the token, and there's some really good early signs that this is actually a really efficient and really kind of powerful way to drive the right outcome. And so the next part, pointless me sitting here telling people this is great, this works, like nobody cares, nobody believes us. Why would they? And so we are engaging with a couple of different academic institutions, and we're going to draft a real paper around this to provide some credibility into like, actually, this is a kick-ass way of getting high quality data from a huge number of people in an efficient way. So that's the next step.
Wow. That's really fascinating. I obviously didn't know most of that. So really there's a positive reinforcement and a negative reinforcement model. So if you're going to say, hey, I'm going to try to manipulate this, or you could lose money. You can actually lose the stake that you put up that you thought would actually make you money. But at the same time, someone with zero stake, right, perhaps from the developing world or something like that, can just come in and start contributing earnestly and honestly today, right? So you're sort of opening it up to both markets. If somebody has a lot of liquidity or a lot of capital, they can and has the time or the infrastructure to build around data sourcing at the end of the day, then this is totally like, I could see, and maybe this wouldn't be allowed, but I could see instead of data farms and factories in third world countries where people are getting paid nothing, perhaps you could have a sponsor that comes in and says, hey, I'm going to buy $1 million worth of this token, stake it, and then offer opportunities for people to get involved. I don't know. There's just a lot that comes into this. In addition, there's this huge, massive fear, especially from retail. We are all retail, right, in some capacity, but especially from a consumer lens and standpoint of like, hey, AI is going to replace all of our jobs. What are we going to do? We're going to be UBI slaves. And it's like, I've actually always argued hey, this is going to open up new and different opportunities of making money and providing work as a human being that's actually still valuable. I think AI is going to eliminate the jobs, unfortunately, that aren't necessarily valuable, right? Or if people aren't necessarily providing a lot of value to them. With this, it seems like AI is always going to need data. So like, there's no, this is by definition impossible to be fully replaced or supplemented by like AI, right? Because it's human data and it's sourced by us. What are some of the examples of different data that you are collecting or different tasks? I have the task thing here as well too. So if you go to earn.sapien.io, literally click this middle button, opens it up. Now you have this like really cool, neat dashboard with different tasks. I just can't off the bat know what some of these things are, but like, I guess, what are some of the examples of different tasks? And then who is it going to? Like, where are they finding value from it?
Yeah, great question. So what you're seeing in the front end there is the lowest tier, least complex tasks that we have active. And this is all you can see until you build enough trust in the system to get access to more complex work. More complex work occasionally doesn't even happen in this app. It happens off platform using the same underlying protocol. And so types of work, what you have here is a mix of logic path work, which is essentially chain of thought reasoning. If you think about teaching, again, we'll use the kid analogy, teaching the kid how to do something, it's not enough to give them the output to a problem. Like if you're teaching the kid math, you don't say 1 and 1 is 2, you say 1 and 1 is 2 because, and you give them logic behind that reasoning. And so a chunk of our work is around chain of thought. Examples of this could be really simplistic language type stuff here, all the way up to engineers, doctors, oncologists. One of our recent tasks was actually identifying cancer cells in pancreatic radiology images. And then not just identifying that there is potentially something suspect on the image, but going a step further and talking about why that particular thing is potentially dangerous. And so helping a model properly understand how to identify these types of things. But most of our work is actually in the kind of 3D, 4D data space. And that's really the types of data that AI uses wherever it's interacting with the real world. And so if you think about autonomous vehicles, manufacturing robotics, humanoid robotics, autopilot on the plane when you take in your vacation, all of these types of things are types of AI model that have to interact with the real world. And so when you're chatting to ChatGPT, if it gives you a bum output, like you might be a little bit annoyed, but the chances are it's not going to be dangerous. And so obviously data quality is important to drive the right outcomes, but really where data quality becomes critically important is where it's things that are directly related to safety. And typically that's where AI interacts directly with the real world in a physical way. And so customers in the autonomous vehicle space like GAC, Toyota, Amazon, Zoox, they're a big deal for us. And then customers in the robotics space are increasingly becoming a big deal for us. But that type of data is pretty hard. Like it's not something everyone can do. LiDAR data, if you haven't seen it before, if you're not used to seeing how it looks, it's kind of confusing and odd. One of the things that we've kind of lucked out with is that the way we went to market originally was with people like Animoca and YGG. We did like early partnerships there. And our thesis was that people that are willing to do online stuff for small amounts of money are a perfect target here, but also gamers are a perfect target here. And that kind of hypothesis proved to be super helpful because if you take like a random 10 people from the street and you get them to do LiDAR data, pretty much all of them will fail. But if you take 10 gamers, typically they'll smash it because they're used to dealing with things in 3 dimensions. They're used to working in a really accurate way with their hands. And so they just have most of the skill that's needed to do that type of work already. So we kind of lucked out there. But those would be the types of tasks that we would need to have the person build some trust, build some stake in the system, because if they get something wrong, there's consequences. And so we need to have a way of kind of penalizing and driving the right behavior. And ultimately, they need to do a skills assessment. And that skills assessment proves to us that they know what they're looking at. They can create good quality outputs. but also like their hardware is good enough. They've got a decent GPU, they've got decent amounts of RAM, that type of stuff. But there really is a super broad range of work. It's everything from take a picture of your dog so we can train a model to do fun stuff with dog images, all the way through to spot the cancer.
Spot the cancer. That's actually incredible. Couple different questions for you, and it's something I've like explored just in general, and like with my own experience, putting in a lot of time working with AI models. Who owns the data? Where is it stored? And have you considered or have like I guess current or future application with like I've done a lot of research on like decentralized computational models, decentralized storage models, right? Because so just like a quick backstory of myself, like I hit pretty decent on the Trump trade. Market went to shit. I spent like 6 months, something like that, 5-6 months, vibe coding every day. I'd always wanted to be a software developer myself. I'd never really built up those skill sets. Found that like, oh shit, like AI is enabling me to like do something I never thought I was capable of doing. I was building out applications, building out my own bots, building out my own tech. And then something I realized in this process was like, oh shit, I'm feeding OpenAI and XAI and whatever the company is that owns Perplexity. I'm feeding all of these data models, all of my thoughts, all of my creativity, all of the things that I'm working on. So now if a competitor or somebody else has a similar thought and asks the same AI model for help solving the same problem, it's going to take the solution that I provided. You know, so that sort of tripped me out once I realized that. I was like, fuck, man, like this really enabled me to do something I never thought I'd be capable of doing. But now I'm afraid to put too much of my human into this AI because it's going to feed it to someone else. So I guess, yeah, like who owns the data? Where does it get stored? Do users still have access to their data later on? Are you using any, I guess, DeFi solutions in terms of computation, storage, etc.?
This is an epic question and it's super important. I think if we look at the way things work today, the age-old, if the product's free, you are the product, is like the perfect way to sum this up. And so no matter what you're doing in the online world, like you are currently feeding AI, no doubt about it. All of the models have full access to the internet. They are trained on all of the open data that's available and a bunch of proprietary data sets, and then expertise sourced through platforms like Sapien and many, many other much bigger players like Scale and Surge and Appen. And so typically the way the model works is you're doing a bunch of stuff online and everyone else is monetizing it except you. And what we are trying to provide is an avenue for you to be able to monetize your data. What we're not doing yet is enabling you to retain ownership of the data. But it's a problem space that we are thinking about, and I think it's a very interesting way to evolve part of our product suite. But the way it works today, just to be super clear, you do some tasks and you're essentially selling that data directly to the customer. And so once you've completed your task and you've received your payment, you have no ownership rights over whatever it is that you provided. Like it's a value exchange of like contractor to company at the end of the day. And so we're essentially the connecting tissue between you and the demand. And the demand could be Amazon Zoox, or it could be some sort of smaller business. I really do love the idea of trying to figure out a path to enable ownership. And for a similar reason to what you just mentioned, I don't want to talk about what we're thinking just yet, but we've got a cool idea that I think would enable proper community participation and ownership of unique data sets. I'll leave it at that for now, but definitely something that's interesting. Current model doesn't support that. You're selling your time, you're selling your knowledge, you're selling your data, depending on what it is, and you're getting paid for it. But
hey, just like you mentioned, you're giving it for free anyways. So you might as well get paid. It's like a lot of people don't realize that. And like from a more Orwellian sort of approach and thought process is like, I almost sort of think of like humans as like, we're almost like, I don't want to say cattle, but like we are, right? Like we are almost like a commodity because our value is really generating data. the more data we generate as a human or enable other people to generate, there's a real value assigned to that. Most of the time, at least for the first decade and a half of social media, you're basically giving all of that away for free. Your geolocation, your name, your age, your hobbies, your interests, your political leanings, your knowledge, your expertise, all of these things are being fed into Google, into XAI, which is now the owner of X, something like that. Right? You're basically feeding all of Meta, right? Meta's even working on their own AI models. So every time you're using Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, you are feeding someone else's AI model that is making money, a substantial amount of money from the collective amounts of data that we are providing. In this instance, users now have a pathway of not only helping shape the future of what AI can look like for real world applications and use cases, such as cancer research, to fucking dog picture apps, right? Whatever, everything sort of in the middle. But now you are actually no longer a bystander, but potential contributor and benefactor from this new world that's coming anyways. Yeah.
And just to add on that, to riff a little bit, I think the key differentiation, at least in my mind, is like, I don't want your personal data. I'm a privacy nut. Like, my background has been building technology to try and preserve our privacy. The last thing I want to do is be harvesting personal information in a kind of Instagram and Facebook way. That's not the play. Our play is to reward people and to pay people for their time, for their nuanced understanding of the world around them, for their human preference, and for their expertise and knowledge. Like, that's what we actually want. That's what's valuable to these models at this point. Zero interest in understanding your shoe size or where you went to school.
Or where you live. Real quick, final plug, because we do have to wrap up here. At JoinSapien, x.com, /JoinSapien, at JoinSapien, website, sapien.io. And you can start earning today, right? Someone could literally go sign up right now, start doing tasks, and make some money.
Exactly. If you are training a model or an agent and you need data, sapien.io. If you're a person, you want to monetize your knowledge, your time, earn.sapien.io.
Amazing. Well, hey, Rowan, it was a really, really fascinating discussion. I learned a lot, and you have an incredible story. I'm excited to see where this continues to develop. Yeah, this is really awesome. Thanks again, man.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Take care. Ciao.
Bye. Woo! All right, guys, we're on to the next one. Got Rarebet Sports, another Monad project. We got Jay and Zach joining us. Really, really cool product. I actually got a chance to test it last week, literally 7 days ago from today. Had a chance to test it. Really, really cool. It's a daily fantasy sports app on Monad. So there's a lot of awesome shit happening on Monad. Get them up here. Yo, what's going on?
Yo. What's going on, boys?
What's up? You guys look like daily fantasy sports guys.
Oh yeah. We get that. We're the betting type.
We're the betting type. You know what's so funny? You were literally talking about like AI Terminator. Bro, I have a Terminator shirt on, bro.
There you go.
We're out here.
Dude, I love it. I love that, like, I get to talk to, people that are like building some crazy shit, like, hey, we're solving fucking world hunger. And then it's like, yeah, we just want something to do while we're watching sports.
Hey, never bet against fun. That's what we always say,
Never bet against fun. That's a banger, bro.
You're right.
That's very
That's
true.
a fucking banger. That's a banger. Well, yeah. Hey, thank you guys for taking your time coming here. Really, really much appreciated. You were one of the Monad projects chat. A lot of the Monad community was like blasting me, dude. You got to talk to them. You got to talk to them. Had a chance to actually test out the app live. It was really fucking cool. I like to start out a lot of these with like kind of diving into like a little bit of a background story. Sort of like how you guys got involved with crypto in general. I think it's very inspiring. Obviously, not just for me, but for other people too, right? At some point, you guys probably started, not where you are right now.
Absolutely.
So I think it's really inspiring, super powerful, and then like going fully diving in product ecosystem, what you guys are looking forward to, what are you changing, problems, etc. But like before getting into like the weeds and nuances, like intros, like how the fuck did we get? Yeah, I don't know.
It's a pretty crazy story on our end, at least. I know for my co-founder Brian and I think our journey into crypto started when we were watching Beeple's first like drop. He was dropping it for $1. It was like the American Bull, and we were sitting there watching people pay actual money for these digital JPEGs. And of course, you'd go on Twitter, you'd see people flexing them, and so all these light bulbs started going off on our heads, and we started, let's start tokenizing like our friends' artwork, our friends' photography, our friends' music, whatever it may be, and just start exploring this new like technology of NFTs. I myself had kind of been in the ICO phase for a bit, very early PooCoin user for anybody that was degenning real early on. And we kind of just like saw this massive opportunity to continue building on chain. And we started, that actually resulted in us getting brought onto a team for Launchpad that was super successful back in the day. And that's actually where I met Jorge and the rest of the team. So yeah, been a crazy journey since. A couple cycles in now. I think I've seen pretty much everything under the sun. And here to improve upon it. So
you got rugged.
It's been awesome. Oh yeah, I mean we've gotten rugged by everything.
Every day. Yeah.
NFTs, food coins, meme coins, you name it, man. We've been rugged. So
I feel like that's like the 2025 like class of people on like just crypto, CT founders, whatever. Like we all got fucked by NFTs. That's what
oh yeah. And you know who's been around too, because like they're on Twitter and they're calm. They're like, this is like the third time I've seen this shit happen. Everybody on CTs thinks everything's on fire, and we're just like, it's gonna come back. So
yeah, if anything, bro, and like I've been saying this all day, like on stream, is like this is the time where like there are more opportunities than fucking anything. And
100%. Yeah.
Most of like the fair weather people are gone. Most of the people that were looking for quick licks already got them. They're gone. And then everyone else got rinsed, right? So if you manage to still be here, you're better off than like 99% of people right now. Like you're doing pretty good.
100%.
So
100. Man, I dove into crypto and Web3 in general in such an exotic way, man. So back in like 2016, 2017, so before jumping into Web3 full time, I'm actually a platinum and Grammy nominated producer engineer based out of San Francisco. And back in like 2016, I still to this day have not name dropped a rapper, but the rapper paid me in Bitcoin super early on. But this is like before my career popped off. So of course I had to sell it to pay rent, groceries, and like with the remainder, I bought some Space Jams 11s. Yeah, I know you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. The Grail back then. And that was pretty much my intro into getting on board into Coinbase and just crypto in general. And then fast forward to 2020 or 2019, early like COVID, Corona shut down. San Francisco County shut down our studio. During that time, I actually learned how to code, worked with some Python, did some bots. And then lo and behold, I run into Zach. And we, at the same company, we start cooking. And we've been rocking ever since. And obviously now we're here building on Monad, building probably one of the coolest consumer-facing apps on Monad and bringing DFS. We like to say player prediction parlays to the rest of the world.
Yeah, no, I first of all, dope story. I feel like it's super important for people out there, especially if like they one day dream of being like a founder, a dev, a builder. One, especially, I mean, you started deving before vibe coding made it essentially fucking super easy, right? But you have to put the time in. And then two is that like you have to I feel like you need your compadre, you need your peoples, like you need a homie, even if it's just one, right? Like you need someone else alongside of you, because like this shit sucks sometimes, right? Like yeah, you can make a lot of money, but this shit fucking sucks sometimes. You can lose a lot of money, you can lose motivation and get discouraged. And like I feel like if you got another homie with you, like up, down, left, right, like you're still good. Like at least you got someone kind of rocking with you throughout the whole time. And-
Exactly.
yeah.
Super solid, and it's like it's been fun, man. And you know, just like building. I'm curating the vibes. I'm the intern. I'm doing everything growth with RBS. I haven't touched code since 2020. Literally, I learned and got my spot, and then just kind of went up from there. I was like, okay, we know how to build culture more than anything. So I stuck to that lane.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing, dude. I say it every fucking day. I feel like is like technical and product modes are not gonna matter in 18 to 24 months, like at all, because anyone else is gonna be able. Oh, you have a cool idea, cool. They're gonna be able to fucking clone it the next year, and it's already happening like that now, right? But I think what will be important are brands, creative, community, like those like the things that are intangible, right? If somebody fucks with you, but like they like a competitor product, they will likely continue to use your shit over the other stuff just because they fuck with you, you know? And like, I feel like a lot of that just comes down to like personal human communication, culture for sure, creative that ends up bringing all the culture together. From a branding standpoint, the shit is super fucking clean. Obviously, you guys have been involved with Monad, I think, relatively early, right? Like sort of one of the
one of the first teams building on Monad. We actually, I think it was almost maybe to the week that we were in Bangkok, we won Monad Madness, which was like a global startup competition for projects building on Monad or projects wanting to build on Monad. So even then, that was a year ago. So yeah, I'd say months before that, we had been dedicated to building on this crazy community, this crazy tech layer, etc. So yeah, super thankful, really.
No, super gas. And I actually wanted to reemphasize a point, less of a question, but just wanted to reemphasize the point because like at this point, I've looked at like 5 or 6 different Monad projects in general, and I would say a lot of them, and this is not a knock to them because it's just where the existing consumer base is, but a lot of them seem to be geared towards like current on-chain participants, and this is the only product I've like fucked around with at all that like seems like, not that it's, like it's open. Like I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, I'll pull it up
completely. Yeah, I mean, that's intentional, right? Like we want to build. I mean, I think it helps taking a step back where what we wanted to do with RBS, and I think in my mind and in our mind, it was how can we prove that you can build a sports betting company more efficient, better user experience on chain, and in doing so, you can be better than your Web2 competitors. So we wanted to abstract away from like the stuff that the blockchain people don't like, right? Fees, slow transaction speeds, crazy onboarding sequences, all that stuff we can abstract away with because the infrastructure in our infrastructure is to a point where it's consumer friendly now. So abstracting away from, I think, the blockchain aspect, but also abstracting away from the sports betting aspect where Rarelink itself is an extremely easy app to use, even if you're not a super, I think, active sports bettor. And so that lends itself really nicely to one, creating a user experience that Web2 users are familiar with, but hiding the blockchain under it so that it can be a better product itself. And like all those things you mentioned, the community, the culture, the brand, is something that I think a lot of Web2 operators just don't nail very well, especially when it comes to tapping into the wealth of communities in Web3 and just the potential and risk appetite that I think everybody in this industry has, but they've really been underexposed to really great sports betting products.
Agreed. And like you even see it with the largest corporations in the world, especially like last cycle, bro. Like we had literally the largest corporations in the world that would try to come and like drop an NFT product.
Exactly.
And they would get fucking rinsed. All of us were like, nah, dude, get out of here. Like, we're not fucking with this.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I know some sunset their products that they had full NFT betting products. And I think you even saw some like obvious, interest in Top Shot. But when that sort of gameplay and economy comes about, it's very hard to maintain and scale. So there are a lot of reasons that people tried it out and then were initially turned off. And I think it was because, again, there's just not a product experience that is really what people wanted necessarily.
Right. And then they didn't either didn't build or didn't maintain and sustain a cult and a culture around it.
Yeah.
Which is like, I think one of that is now the new moat, right? Like, yo, who's able to like galvanize people? Who's able to like rally around?
And I think that's something that meme coin projects do really well, right? And it's a page that I think a lot of these projects should take from. And it's like, how can we, and you see it a lot in terms of like this intern persona that goes on with a lot of Web3 brands and now Web2 brands. They're trying to, formulate themselves in a way that's relatable, I guess. But it's all still evolving, I'd say. So,
it's still evolving. Yeah. I think one of the things I actually tweeted about this last week is like Polymarket literally shit posted their way to the top. Hugo Martindale is a fucking goat, bro. Like, he literally just came in, just started shit posting. Bro, go back a year and a half ago, and you just had this Milady, Remilio, PFP just shit talking all day on Twitter. Now they're like getting listed on New York State Stock Exchange.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Like corporate backing and sponsors. You're like, bro, this started with some Anon PFP just shit posting. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, and it shows that there's an appetite there, right? Like,
built the culture
there. The culture's there, so that people want to tap into, and they just haven't done a good job thus far.
Yeah. Speaking of culture, Monad Mainnet, is it in, or am I wrong? Is it in 10 days or 12 days? It's 12 days? 24?
On the 24th, in 10 days.
10 days. Obviously, you guys are in testnet right now. Let me pull this up too, in case anybody hasn't seen it yet. At Rare Bet Sports, not Rare Bets Sports, Rare Bet Sports. At Rare Bet Sports, you already have the testnet live. Anyone can go on there and sign up and start gambling. I put in some gambles actually on stream last week. I think I fucked up on some of these, but too hot. Didn't do too hot, but it was fun. And now I want to use it more. Actually, I'm gonna do it this Sunday for NFL. I've been looking to watch more sports. I'm just too fucking tapped into crypto and stuff all the time. So,
well, this is the perfect crossover then.
Yeah,
a little bit of both. And we also got like a bunch of sports launching soon too, like soccer, MMA, tennis. So it's kind of just like what's on testnet as a preview of what's to come.
Super sick. I guess this is the current stage of the product. If anyone wants to take a look at it, so you can go in here, and it is daily fantasy. So you're not doing over unders on the actual games yet, or at all really in its current format, but you're more so gambling on the performance of the players, and you can do parlays across multiple sports. So if you sort of want to say, hey, Karl-Anthony Towns, 25.5 points, I'm going to take the under on that, and then go down here and say Aaron Rodgers, 226, I'm going to go under, whatever. You get the point. I mean, you can basically go across different sports in general, which is obviously really cool.
And the more players, the higher your payout, right? So like you could get up to 100x your entry if you were to do a 7-player rare link.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I did want to ask, like, this is real football, soccer. This is real football. No, this is get out of here, bro. Like,
they're talking about leg ball again.
Yeah, you're talking about leg ball.
Damn leg ball.
Leg ball.
No, just what are some of the, like, do you have immediate things that are happening day one mainnet? Dude, for every Monad project I've talked to so far, I don't know if you guys are just fucking with me or like it's like a big secret. But I'm like, yo, are you guys doing anything day one? They're like, nah, we're gonna wait a few weeks. We got and then I feel like it's all a psyop. I feel like day one Monad mainnet, it's actually gonna be a bunch of shit popping off, but they're like downplaying. Bro, Chog, when I was talking to Benja, I was like, yo, like, what's going on day one? He's like, yeah, we're gonna launch around like Christmas or some shit. I'm like, bro, what? Like, this makes no sense. I still think that's a psyop, honestly. I don't know.
It could be with Benja, you never know, dude. He could be posting. You could, we were lucky enough to be accepted into wave 1 of Monad Momentum, which is an incentive program. Yeah, it's an incentive program that they have developed for early ecosystem projects. So essentially what we're able to do is get incentives, get grants from Monad and help them fuel what we're building for week 1, week 2, the first essential month of the launch. So we do have a lot of stuff going on day 1 of mainnet, but I think we're actually going to be closer to announcing that with the rest of Monad next week. But yeah, dude, we'll have day 1 incentives. We'll have, like you saw on the app itself, we had a couple locked pages. Those things will be unlocked. And of course, we have, Jorge can dive in more, but a player pass that will be launching to our pretty early community members that have been supporting us through testnet and also communities around Eco.
Yeah, we're experimenting with like season passes, or we all play a lot of video games, and we're very familiar with like player passes, season passes, and we're experimenting with that on our day 1 of mainnet launch. And our idea with this NFT is to figure out who our core community is, and this is how we figure out on chain who we love to call ourselves betards, but these are the mega betards, and these dudes are like they're creating rare links, they're onboarding people, they're going to get a number of incentives and utility on the platform that other people might not have, just because they have this game pass or this player pass, as we're calling it. So this NFT that we are releasing is a utility play. It's going to be free. We're not going to charge for it, it's just a really cool experiment we're going to run. And it's just a really cool way to identify people on chain that are, again, the core culture, the core community. So we're super excited to experiment with that as well. But since we're on stream, I'm down to give you guys 5 guaranteed whitelist spots. And again, it is going to be a free mint. Big time utility on the platform.
I'm going to announce it right. Yeah, fuck it. We'll announce it right now.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was going to ask, like, is there a limit to this? Is there like a supply limit? You obviously said it's a free NFT, free mint NFT.
Yeah, there's going to be 999.
Okay. All right.
So,
dude, that's sick.
Yeah. Right. I guess that's considered a low supply. But again, it's going to be a really interesting experiment. And all I'm going to say is at the end of the season, these people are going to eat. They're going to do great. They're going to have fun.
Okay. That's really dope. Season 1 player pass. And I like how you're doing it by seasons as well too. One of the things that didn't work well for a lot of previous NFT projects is they would they do Genesis pass and then they promise the fucking world and they're like 5 guaranteed plus Charizard card. Hey yo, chill. Yo, wow.
They know I got them.
They know I got them. Yo, chat. They just asking for everything now. No, but you'd have like a NFT, they'll do a Genesis pass and they're like, hey, we're gonna fucking give you the world, we're gonna host events for the next decade. Like doing it as a season pass, I think makes a lot more sense and then gives you room in the future to do iterations, upgrades, updates, etc. Really, really awesome. And I think NFTs, as much as we've gotten rinsed on them, everyone here, but also I think culturally they're at a weird point. I still think it's the most viable community tool, which is the most at the end of the day, right? Are there any plans of eventually tokenizing? Does this help people? I mean, I would imagine if you're putting in a lot of on-chain volume with this, that's probably something considered for some of the community rewards for Monad. Are there any? Everybody, likes to claim that it's a bad thing, but farmers, right? Are there any economic opportunities for people that could potentially get involved with this early?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that's really important to point out is the first few weeks of mainnet are a real growth phase in terms of our own community. So we have our referral program launching, which if you are a part of our community, you'll know about, you'll be whitelisted for, but that's going to be really their first opportunity to earn based off of their friends betting on the platform. So a lot more to be said on that, but yeah, there's going to be incentives on chain. There's going to be incentives for volume. There's going to be incentives for referrals. And of course, we are doing this season by season. So at the end of the season, there's a jackpot or multiple jackpots. and that'll all be, of course, based off of the global leaderboard, which in itself is a really cool aspect. I don't think daily fantasy sports has ever had a global leaderboard. That stuff is just such in a black box on these platforms. So I think that'll actually be a really cool aspect of the product. It's kind of underlooked right now. One, because it hasn't launched, but two, it's just a leaderboard in itself.
I'm getting this giveaway announcement out, and we're gonna help push that around. That's really cool. Mainnet when? If you missed it, we did give the date. Mainnet is November 24th, which is actually when the season pass, the season 1 player pass launches. You guys are launching on the mainnet day, and it's a free mint. We're giving away 5 whitelists. Actually, here's how we'll do it. If you guys are active in the chat, for the next hour, yeah, we're gonna keep going for the next hour. I got one more person coming, and then we'll go for the next hour. Whoever's most active in the chat, obviously, hey, I don't even have to say it. You guys got to follow Rare Bet Sports. I don't know. I'm not going to give too many requirements. We're going to find people that actually, will fucking use this and provide some value to it. But really cool. Yeah, this is awesome. I guess outside of this, something I've been asking all the different Monad founders and builders, especially because it's such a supportive ecosystem. Everybody's sort of supporting one another. What are some of the most bullish products, teams, projects that you guys are looking forward to? What else are you guys looking forward to as far as the whole Monad eco? Any partnerships that you guys? I mean, you don't have to leak them, but any. Yeah, I guess. What are the best?
Yeah.
The other cool products, and if you had a dream partnership, what do you think would be I don't know.
I think in terms of the ones I'm looking forward to, one, LootGo. I think LootGo is a super underrated project on Monad. It's like a Pokemon Go meets meme coins in crypto, which is really cool. I'm also really stoked on Fastlane. Shout out Alex. And then I'm really interested to see how the purple perps on Purple turns out. I think they've got a solid product, and again, it's more degeneracy, so I'm a fan.
Cool. Jay, what about?
Man, I definitely agree with LootGo, Fastlane, and I'm super bullish on Curvance as well. I mean, I think that Curvance team is so cracked. And the thing is, it's the thing about Monad is there is something for everyone. It's even consumer level, which again, we go back to LootGo and us and other platforms. But I think Monad going to market with all the apps that are building it just seems like it's going to be a big success. And I can't wait to see it happen in 10 days from today.
Oh, 100%. And I'm hearing even, a lot of people that I know that have been involved in crypto for the last 5-10 years this is what everybody's looking forward to right now. Especially with market being shit, Solana
and
trend.
it's also, what else is there? When you look around, it's
what else is going on right now, bro?
Privacy, Zcash maybe, but other than that, it's there's not a whole lot that's interesting out there right now.
Yeah, there's nothing else. You have DCM trying to get pushed again, which I'm it's never worked. It hasn't worked yet, so that's kind of a flyer. ICMs, I think, are again, really easy buzzword, but we're not seeing much actual substance there. I do think we're at somewhat of ICO. I think we could potentially see a little bit of an ICO season for a little bit, utility season for a little bit. Stellana meme coin trenches are fucking cooked. Done. We had BNB for a month. That's fucking cooked now. It's done.
Yeah, dude.
So
now it's the sports betting, the prediction market, the the Rare Link DFS. I think it's I mean, for us, we always say how much easier it is to 100x on Rare Link than it is to 100x in the trenches.
It's true.
Same thing
mathematically.
Mathematically, it's true.
Yeah.
But even just the exhaustion that I think that's come from the meme coin trenches, you're now seeing a lot of traders realize that there's money to be made speculating elsewhere, and you don't have to rely on an anonymous dev. You don't have to worry about snipers. These outcomes are happening in real life. You can find them on chain too. So I think that exhaustion is kind of fueling this prediction, speculative entertainment super cycle that we're lucky enough to be a part of.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I would say that like one of the things is, and exactly like what I said in my case, right? I'm like, I want to sort of like force myself to spend more time, dude. I used to go back a few years ago, bro. I would sit there and watch fucking Red Zone for 8 hours.
Dude, I still do. That's what we do every Sunday.
Out, bro. Like my ass cheeks are literally imprinted on the fucking couch. Like, type shit. Like, and it's been a while. It's been a while, but now I'm like, there's nothing else to fucking do. I do need to take a little bit of a break from fucking the madness of crypto Twitter, for sure. So yeah, I think market timing for this, especially going into the holidays, right? Like that's something
Right.
I realized. I had a dinner party. We had a dinner party here like a week ago, like a week and change ago. And like I noticed like at the dinner party, everyone was talking about different predictions they had going on. So I tweeted, I was like, wait,
Yep.
like holiday parties, family gatherings, like, you know, when people are gonna be meeting during the holidays, like, is that what we're all gonna be talking about? Like, yo, what'd you bet on this game, bro?
Well, soon it's going to be like, is grandma going to show up? You're going to be able to do some like on-chain peer-to-peer within the fam prop bets on grandma coming up. So it's just going to get more degenerate. People obviously like you can't turn on the TV or sports game without seeing 50 sports betting ads or something related to gambling. So
Right. And then honestly, like
Totally
if
agree.
you're fucking, you know, if you're tapped in, if you're actually like keeping up with sports media, which I used to do a lot, which is why, you know, I was watching so often, specifically with the NFL, like constantly, right? Like there are some competitive advantages. Yes, it is gambling, but if you know, if you're knowledgeable at the specific sport, if you're doing some back end research, like
Mhm.
you,
Oh, yeah, I
you could
mean-
have slightly higher odds.
we have numbers to prove it. Like that's the reason why daily fantasy sports and sports like a sports book is looked at two different ways, at least in the United States. Like here in California, sports betting is illegal, but I can play Prize Picks all I want, which is daily fantasy sports because of these regulations that have been set out. So we actually follow those regulations and guidelines with RareLink, which is really cool. But I also think it's a superior product to like your traditional spreadsheet and all that. So
Fire. I'm gonna do one last plug. So at RareBet Sports, and for some of the chat guys, Kaneki, I got you. OXA Rich. If you don't already have one, I'm gonna confirm if you don't
we'll have
already
to
have
check that one. We know that guy.
you know, like right? I'm like, hey, this guy's trying to double up here. I know what you're doing. You're gonna sell that whitelist. I already know how this shit goes. But really cool website, Daily Fantasy Sports. I'm gonna test it out. I'll start sharing some of my picks on the timeline. Do not follow them, or if you want to, great. You're probably gonna lose money. Some other cool projects you had mentioned as far as the within the Monad Eco, which I haven't checked out yet, but I'll take a look. We have Fastlane, Curvent, and I couldn't find the Luco. I don't know what it's called, but I will definitely take a look at that one as well too. Lot cooking for Monad. I think this is the one of the greatest opportunities presenting itself in the market, especially there's nothing else going on, guys. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Agreed.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate your time. Definitely got to do a follow once mainnet goes. That's sort of what the next iteration of the project.
Yeah, dude. And yeah, let's keep in touch. We'll be we're in Southern California, so let's connect too.
Yeah. I'm in LA. So
yeah. Corey's a little bit north, but I'm down south as well. We'll catch a basketball game or something. But appreciate you having us on, dude. This has been awesome.
Fire.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks. Have a good weekend. Ciao.
Peace.
Peace. What? That was fucking sick. We got another Monad builder coming up here in just a moment. Really cool, jam-packed today. So this is 5 in a row. We cranked out 5 in a row. Monad ecosystem is definitely heating up. There's a lot going on. Now we're going to talk to Blocknads. Got Ben Sage and Bill Cyber. I hope I'm saying that correctly. What's going on, fellas? Happy Friday. How are you guys doing?
Oh, hey, Faded. How you doing? Yeah, happy Friday to you too.
Hey, good.
You can hear me clearly, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Perfect. Yeah, I think Wishward is coming in a bit, but yeah, I'm here. Yusuba is here,
Yeah,
so
you're here in a
yeah.
bit. Gmo not fitted.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? GM or GN? Not sure where you guys are geographically, but still like early afternoon here in LA. Cloudy day, shitty market day. Hasn't looked great. Monad looks like one of the most promising things coming up in the next 10 days. Know that you guys are building multiple different things. Primarily, obviously, an NFT project with BlockNads, as well as a Telegram trading bot with BlockBot. So definitely interested to talk both of those things. How I like to start off a lot of these, well, not a lot, almost all of them, right, is a little bit of a background on your guys, on you guys, right, on yourselves as not just builders but blockchain participants. How did you initially get involved with the crypto space, and how that eventually led to building your own product, right? So I think it's obviously super inspiring, and a lot that we can all collectively learn from when we sort of learn these origin stories. So I don't know if either one of you guys want to go first, but we could start there and then fully dive into the product, the project, and sort of what the next things are.
Yeah, that's definitely something would be pleasure to do. So first off, I think I'll start first. I'm Busibero, the CTO and co-founder of Block Labs, BlockNads, and the technical mastermind behind the development of BlockBots, our flagship Telegram trading bot that is live for public testing currently on the Monad testnet. Yeah, so I'm a backend engineer and smart contract engineer by profession, and I've been so for the past years. I got into crypto in 2021. I think that was April 15th, 2021, and that was via Wishvad, our co-founder and COO. He'll be joining a bit kind of tardy at the moment. So yeah, through Wishvad, I was able to break into the Web3 space. But at that time, I haven't ventured into software development. So I think, to be fair, crypto was actually the reason I actually delved into software development. I had no interest in software development prior to the time. I was primarily just finishing on studying mathematics as at that time before I branched into computer science, and yeah, what led us to where we are currently today. So yeah, that's a little bit of my background. Yeah.
Dope. Ben Sage.
Oh yeah. Well, I think prior to crypto, I still am. I'm a designer. I focus majorly on creative designs, brand, product, UI, UX, and the likes. And that was basically what I was focused on before I came into crypto. And I think that's 2021, if I'm correct. I mean, my first exposure to crypto was 2017, but I didn't know it was crypto. Something like social. Social earning on crypto basically, but I didn't know it was crypto. And then started designing. Then my friend that was there in crypto like called me, messaged me actually, and said, "Oh, yo, do you see do airdrops?" I was like, yeah, but I mean, I don't know what it is, but she thought I was into crypto. Then she just told me to come back in, and that's basically how I came back into crypto. And yeah, it's been crazy since then. Focused on design within crypto as well, and I've worked with a few, I think, bounties when bounties were still bounties back then, and yeah, contributed majorly, of course, design as well. One Hive, I don't know if you're familiar with One Hive, but yeah,
No, but
that's right.
we did get a comment, and I think this is what initially like super stood out to me, the art. The BlockNads art. I don't know if you are the creative mind behind it, but it is freaking incredible. It is really, really good. One of the more exciting art collections I've seen in the Monad.
Yeah, look, I mean,
I think we lost.
Yeah, I think having connectivity issues. Yeah, the art pieces we have so far is actually due to our amazing artists, which is Freakazoid and Imagink. Yeah, they are the two founding artists that worked on BlockNads initially, and they've actually working on the BlockNads art for the past 2 years before we got an external hired hand. Yeah, he also did some contributions, but not so much to the main collection. Yeah, so now shout out to Imagink and Freakazoid. Freakazoid is our creative art director, and Imagine is our leading artist.
Hear me? My internet just bugged out for a bit. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I saw that. It happens sometimes, connection issues. We are also joined by Washvat. I think you said he was the COO, or he's a part of the founding team, obviously. What's going on?
Yeah, yo, GM. Apologies for coming in late. I had to wrap up
Hey,
something.
no worries, no worries. It's Friday. You guys are the last. I spoke to 5 projects today. You guys are the last project I'm talking to today.
Damn, you must have had a busy day. How's it been so far? Hope you're not stressed.
Bro, it's been look in the morning when I first wake up, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what did I sign myself up to? And then I start jumping into these conversations, and bro, the time flies. Like, it actually goes by really, really fast. Because I'm genuinely interested. I'm genuinely interested in learning about these products, the projects, the founders, what they're working on, finding opportunities from within that to obviously tell the audience as well too, like, hey, this might be something to look into. We like to find alpha through information, not through speculation, through things that are actually concrete, people that are actually real, people that have been around for a while or have their own interesting backstories. We sort of just went a round table with Bill Cyber and Ben Sage sharing their stories, right, as far as like getting involved with crypto. I kind of would love to learn yours as well too. Like, how did you initially get involved with the industry? How did you guys all meet? Like, how did this all come together? How did you guys initially start concepting this? Like, how long has this project been in the works? I think that origin story is like super important. And then obviously, I definitely want to spend a good amount of time getting into the actual NFT project, the art, the Telegram trading bot, and sort of how all of these things interconnect.
Yeah, I think firstly I would say like that's very based of you, like taking your time out to speak with multiple founders. I jumped in when you were speaking with Jivan. I mean, I've had other things. It has really been a busy week for us because mainnet is coming close. I've just like been jumping in and out. So it's really an amazing work you're doing so far.
Hey man, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate it. I'm gonna pull up unless Washpad, you want to share a little bit about yourself and how you guys got all connected.
Yeah, sure. Let me start with like, a brief intro. And again, apologies for the coming in late. Hi, everyone. I'm Wishbad, co-founder and CEO of BlockNat and Block Labs. I've been in the space for about half a decade now, and I've spent the last 2 years of my life building and experimenting bullshit with BlockNat and Ben Sage and Bill Siba. I think my first experience with crypto should probably be like, I think 2018. Got little info about Bitcoin and mining and all that, but didn't really pay attention till like late 2020, early 2021. I fully got like I'd say that I think it's time for me to fully pay attention to this industry, and I think start with BSC, then I discovered Solana, and I'll say it's been an awesome ride so far.
No, yeah, for sure. And I think that's something that you find yourself, especially if you've been here for a while. You might start out as a ETH NFT maxi, then a year or 2 years later, you're in the Solana trenches, and then a year or 2 years later, you're early to an ecosystem like Monad, right? And I think that's sort of the special thing with crypto is that there's always new and exciting opportunities. Especially, I think one of the most valuable things is similar to how you guys, have all met each other, through this space and started working with one another. Like, there's a lot of different opportunities in that avenue as well too. And I think it's important to remind people of that too. Is like, especially on days like today, if the market's shit and you feel lost, confused, but I don't know what to do next, like start, I would say the best thing is to start building, and it all starts with like building yourself. building your network, building your relationships, and it might take some time, but eventually it will pay off. I'm gonna pull up screen share here real quick. Blocknads at Blocknads. We're getting quite a few comments about the art itself. I did want to showcase the art, which is really, really cool. Actually, I haven't even seen this trailer yet. Can we watch this trailer? I mean, it's only a few seconds. Let me get the sound on. 1 second, guys. But yeah, we could watch the trailer, and I do want to go through the actual art itself, which is like super cool, and then dive into other stuff. But here we go. Let's play this. Let me hold on real quick. Also want to showcase Honorary. 1 sec. Right here. This is so fucking gas, bro. Like the art is just like really, really cool. How long have you guys been putting the actual collection together?
We've been actually on it like for the past 2 years. I think when I got in, I probably had Busiba, explaining the artwork. I think one beautiful thing about what we've been doing so far is if you go to when we started 2023 and all that, you definitely see it's concise and the general progression and the art getting better because one thing we live by is when you're doing something, always get the best out of it. And we've been able to put this quality into our art and, ensure we get have one of the best and sickest arts in Web3 in general. Because one process, I think that's one of the blessing of having a small collection, which is 999. They are generated, built by a tool built by Busiba, generates, which helps with the generation of NFT collections and all that. They are still randomly generation, but we didn't just stop at that. After putting everything, we pick each art to make sure that everything is a unique masterpiece, which is what we explained there. This takes days of our time, and after that we don't just stop at that. Our artists still have to go through everything, touching little details just to ensure that everything is a real unique masterpiece. And it's leads to scenarios where you can have similar traits in multiple arts, but they look slightly different. Probably the color is different because each and every one of the traits is perfectly. I won't say perfect because perfect is relative, but each and every one of the traits is designed uniquely for each artwork itself. So I think it's one of the things we're really proud of, the unique artwork we've come up with so far.
Wow. Yeah, it looks really, really awesome. 999 supply. I guess what is the go-to-market look like? Is this a free mint NFT? I think you guys have previously mentioned that. How much of it has already been allocated? Is there room for people to get involved still? I guess some follow-up questions there.
Yeah, okay. I think Busiba, do you want to talk?
Yeah. I wanted to just expound on. Okay, I think I will just proceed with the current question. Yeah. It's a free mint. We announced it was the collection as a free mint. I think that was November 1st of this month. Yeah, it's a free mint collection. It was something that wowed that resonated throughout the Monad community because they were surprised that we've been building for 2 years such quality, top-notch art, such quality, top-notch builds that we released, and yet we're still going with the free mint route. But we had reasons as to why we decided to go free mint.
Yeah, that's fucking sick. And then you have different factions. There's Mullen, based off of one of the the IPs. that have been proliferating from within the Monad community. You have Malandak, you have Chog, Moyaki, and Mouch, which is really cool. These are basically like ecosystem native memes that people have already started congregating around. There's a whole team here as well too. One of the biggest things that has been like I don't want to say a downside, but like obviously like with a lot of the NFT collections that came out in 2021 on Ethereum, many of them have failed to build and put out products that actually make revenue. I think there was a viral moment this past week with everyone talking about Azuki, right? And like their pivot into getting into manga and trading card games. And it seemed like, obviously Azuki's been around for like 3 years now, 4 years now, and they're still figuring out their revenue and monetization, which is tough. A lot of other NFT projects have struggled with the same thing. I know for you guys, you already have a product, or you've already been working on a product that's already, is it live? I want to dive into that as well too. Like, so in addition to Blocknads, you have Blockbot, which is a Telegram trading bot, and I think eventually perhaps a trading terminal itself. How does that tie into is there any connection with the NFT at all? Do you plan on sort of using some of that revenue to help support or like promote the actual community? I don't know. I just like a bunch of questions there, because I think you guys are kind of going through it in a very smart way. We're like, hey, we're putting this out, and perhaps this is just a symbol that you're aligned with us and you're a part of the community. But in addition to that, you actually have a product, which is like better, more than a lot of NFT projects that have been out for years already.
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
I think it's one of the things. Sorry, can you hear me?
yeah, we can. I lost you for like 2 seconds, but you're back.
Oh, okay, my bad. I think it's one of the things we've been constantly discussing and still discussing. Our goal, one of our major goal, I think, starting out Block Labs, is building your favorites or your go-to Web3 product. So there's probably an offer in there, and that was what brought up Blockbots. We said build something unique, which is Blockbot, your favorite trading body, because it's a goal for Blockbot. It's not just another Telegram trading bot. And I think to answer your question, how Blockbot and Blocknads they go together. I think one of the reasons why we can probably do a free mint, people, I think the questions people have been asking is like, oh, how will you guys survive, managing an NFT product, with the old royalties issues and all that. Basically the survival of the NFT collection. And one way we ensure survival and running of Blocknads is through Blockbots. We are dedicating, or rather, we plan on dedicating a percentage of the fees gotten from Blockbots to ensure Blocknads, basically what we'll be releasing through Blocknads in the future and all that. I don't think I can really say more as regards to that, but yeah, one of the plans we have right now is take a particular percentage of the fees gotten from Blockbots to ensure Blocknad runs smoothly and ensure the onward progression of Blocknads.
Really cool. And the current state of the trading bot, is it live? Are you looking to have kind of sort of specific features within the Monad ecosystem, Monad coins? We have mainnet coming up in 10 days. I have a feeling that there will be quite a bit of trading volume, especially in the very beginning. Is there a particular advantage to using something like this?
I think I would answer on this since actually, technically developing blockbots. Yes, there's an advantage to using blockbots, and as the profile inserts in chat shows, blockbots is built for speed, security, and the end user in mind. One of the primary things we focused on during the development of blockbots was performance and also security. It was practically came down to a trade-off between performance and security, and we unanimously agree that security would never be traded off for performance. So we should actually strike a balance for that at blockbot. So if you're looking for stability, if you're looking for millisecond execution, because one thing I've come to understand as somebody that has actually played in the trenches is execution speed when it comes to trades. You are literally milliseconds or even seconds away from missing out on 2x's or missing out on 10x's. You're literally seconds away from losing that generated wealth. So this was something we factored in the development of blockbot, aggressive speeds. Even currently, the architecture of blockbot takes advantage of every compute that is available to it. So the more compute we throw at blockbots, the faster it should technically become. So if you're looking for an edge when it comes to speed, an edge when it comes to stability, and an edge when it comes to broader trading routes, then yeah, you should definitely consider blockbot. We have something in the works, which is our wedge in the market that we call the USD, user specific data. I think we'll talk about that later in the space, or rather in the stream. That is what sets blockbots apart from every from our competition. It's something that should go live soon on mainnet. So basically, what USD does is that rather than just replicating the trades of profitable traders via copy trading that we are typically used to, USD helps you to understand your trading trading patterns and your trading behavior to give you an idea of where you stand in the trading spectrum, thereby hopefully given that you implement the analysis, hopefully improving your ratio of good trades to bad trades. Yeah, so I think that's so the long of the short. Rather, my bad. The short of the long is that if you're looking for stability, millisecond execution, and an edge against other traders combining it, you should consider blockbots.
Awesome. And like I'm watching here, there's quite a bit of like automated features, auto buys, obviously percentage sells. You can quite a bit of customization as well too, and really you're emphasizing 2 points: security and performance. So building out an actual Telegram trading bot, which it has a little bit more of a stronger emphasis on security, as well as just being highly performative, which is one of the overall macro narratives for Monad as a whole, right? Is that, hey, this is a new blockchain coming out and it is extremely performative. So I think, one of the edges, right, in trading, you always need an edge. One of the edges that this could perhaps lean itself towards is being one of the most performative, if not the most performative trading tool to use, specifically with like the Monad trenches, which I think, as soon as it goes live, mainnet goes live, people are going to look for ways of trading these tokens, and they're going to gravitate towards the most performative solutions.
Yes, indeed.
Really cool. What else was I gonna ask? Monad mainnet. Have you guys gotten a lot of direct support from or like any communication support from the actual Monad team? Obviously, I know it's a little bit of a controversial take, but airdrop farming. I mean, let's just be honest. We saw the tokenomics of Monad get announced. Quite a bit of supply. I think it was like 30% is reserved for future community distributions. I guess would participating in something like this give someone exposure to Monad perhaps as well?
Sorry, I didn't quite understand your question.
So, like,
do you mind?
if you're using this Telegram trading bot, to trade Monad meme coins, does it potentially help give exposure to future Monad community rewards?
Yes, the short of the long once again is yes. We are currently even in talks with a lot of communities that we're actually going to keep redacted because we don't want to push the narrative that you should use blockbots in exchange for rewards. That's basically what farming basically is. We
Yeah.
actually want usage, yeah. But even as of this week, and even to be precise, yesterday and the previous days, we've been in talks with some certain teams that actually want to reward both the Blocknuts community and the Blockbots community because of to keep the synergistic relationship between us going on. Yeah, so yeah, there are definitely going to be rewards in accordance with the usage of Blockbots. But nothing is take this with a grain of salt. Nothing is actually certain. Yeah, just putting out that disclaimer.
Awesome. And then question I've had for a lot of different well, not a lot of different, basically every single Monad founder and builder that I've had on so far, one of the things I've been like praising as far as like the Monad ecosystem is it seems very supportive, right? Like it's a lot less PvP than a lot of other ecosystems. Seems like a lot of the founders and builders are actively supporting one another, actively partnering and collaborating. Are there any other like Monad mainnet 10 days? Are there any other projects or partner projects that you're also looking forward to? They're like, hey, I can't wait for that one as well.
Yeah. I jumped off a call with the Something Launchpad yesterday. We had a technical call with them. That was primarily for the objective of the meeting was primarily for integrations, but we're also looking at other ways to improve the synergy between our projects, which is Blockbots and Something. I think as what I'm privy to, next week we'll have an official announcement announcing a collaboration between the Something Launchpad and AMM and Blockbots. We also recently closed the meeting with the Printer Go Brew launchpad. That is a multi-chain launchpad. Yeah, we also established synergistic relationships with them. In fact, that has been the case so far. NADFund, Calls or Trade, and many more that we haven't yet to establish discussions with, establish rapports with. Yeah, it's been a very, like you said, a very supportive ecosystem so far. Less PvP and more of like Rema or Jupiter will see PPP. Yeah.
Awesome. And we had a question from the chat, Crypto Toast. Will there be any competition on Monad with this kind of automation bot feature? I mean, that's a good, I mean, are you guys planning on doing any like trading competitions when mainnet goes live? At least using the bot. I guess that's one. And then yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good question. Like as far as like your go to market, as far as getting a lot of people to use this bot, obviously you've already pointed out security and speed, but are you planning on gamifying it at all with trading competitions or rewarding power users with like, I don't know, even social recognition? People care about these things for whatever reason.
Yeah. While I've been masterminding the technical developments, Ben Sage and Washboard have been masterminding, the marketing and the product aspect. So what I'm privy to, I think I'll just give one of them the mic to speak. Yeah, there's definitely gamification planned for Blockbots as rollout during mainnet. Yeah, I think Wishward, I believe you have more details on that.
Yeah, there's definitely gamification for that. I think as mainnet gets closer, would release more information towards that. And yeah, like the social recognition you're also talking to, this is something we haven't consider developing the bot. Sometimes I talk to Busiba and even Ben Sage, because apart from him being a UI designer, he's also a UX designer. We also try these little things, little gamification that the average user won't notice, and even social recognition, little elements in the bot, and some of which would even be clearer come mainnets. Yeah, so definitely these are all things we have into consideration.
For sure. Question from Crypto Toast. You guys don't have to answer it, but I'll just put it out there. Is there any other project on Monad doing trading bot, or is BlockBot truly unique one on Monad? I don't know of any other trading bot, to be honest. So when Monad mainnet goes live, this is the one that's top of mind for me. I don't know if it's like an overly competitive space within the Monad eco currently. But you guys can sort of speak further to that. To my knowledge,
well said. I think BlockBot should be your go-to trading bot on Monad. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah, that's what actually matter. That's actually what matters.
Comment here from Martyr, right? Morty is saying BlockBot is the most credible one within the community. I mean, you can see that just with the social engagement. I'm sure there will be other things out there, but as far as having really deep-seated roots, ties, and connection with the community, this is the only one that's top of mind for me right now. I don't know of any others. OXA Rich, we need an NFT mint function on BlockBet. First come, first serve mint rounds would go crazy on Monad. I don't know if you guys have any comments to that, but that would be interesting.
Okay. First off, currently our mint mechanism has already been baked in, so we wouldn't be unfortunately having a first come, first round. We're having what we call we practically built a raffle system built by yours truly, that basically prevents the invasion of bots as is typically used, as most mints are typically used to, because that is actually where bots shine. Bots shine perfectly in the first come, first round. So if we're going to solve the problem of botsing, we had to reinvent public minting as we know it, and that was how we introduced the raffle system. So yeah, so we can actually have a first come, first round. But I don't know, we might toy with something in the future, but no, our mint will be having the first come FCFS public.
No, I think it's talking about BlockBot, using BlockBot to mint NFTs.
In NFTs, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've gotten that question quite a lot of times, but BlockBot is primarily for trading ERC20 tokens. Maybe in the near future we might have a separate bot for minting. It won't be BlockBot. It will be a separate. Even if we do go that route, it will be a separate bot for minting NFTs. We are trying to keep BlockBot as simple as possible in terms of responsibility.
Makes sense. Another question here from Crypto Toast. Is there any plan to extend the bot from Telegram or to create a standalone app or some push to the web? I think we've already touched on it. You guys want to answer it?
Terminals. Yeah, we've actually been discussing this. Although to be fair, it's actually been Ben Sage that has been pushing for such an application. It's something I'm still toying around with my mind, but it's something we've been definitely considering. We want to first see to the successful launch of the Telegram interface of BlockBot before we begin to consider other interfaces. But yes, that is definitely a strong consideration.
Dope. Okay, we have the mainnet going live in exactly 10 days. What is the timeline, I guess, for the NFT mint? Is that going to be time? I mean, you guys, I don't want you to reveal anything you don't want to reveal, but what are some of the most immediate things that people can look forward to, set reminders for, whether that's from the NFT mint side or any activations with the bot once mainnet goes live? I guess, what are the next steps from here? And yeah, the timeline for the NFT, because I really want the NFT, bro.
Yeah, I'm actually even excited to mint the NFTs myself, because there's a particular one I've seen, and I have my eyes on that NFT. I will bid everything, all of my assets to get that NFT. I think that was one of the most that's one of the most fire NFTs that the artists have ever cooked up. At least to me, I might be biased, but yes, I'm actually looking forward to.
That shit in fire, man. Have you seen my PFP? Come on,
bro. Look at his PFP, bro.
No.
Fuck off.
Yo, man, come on.
I'm to see this NFT like it's not what sounds in my eyes.
This is way more fire. Don't know.
Nah, literally though. I mean, it's actually fire. Well, have you seen the forecourts?
Yeah, Ben Sage probably has. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, Ben Sage got the best PFP right now. I'm not gonna.
Thanks, man. That's just.
Hey, yo, that's a slap on my PFP.
I'm trying to hate, bro.
Which one we're talking of? Beautiful PFPs. I think you should see this one out. say this one now. Your PFP's out.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all can't give him that PFP, bro.
Damn, doing the PFP wars.
No,
He's gonna start
no,
acting
yeah,
different,
PFP
bro.
was for
Y'all
you.
can't give him that PFP because he's gonna start acting different. He's gonna be Hollywood now. Y'all be careful, bro. Last question here from the chat. Crypto Toast. Since Blockbot aims for ERC20 tokens, do you plan to integrate more chains outside of Monad? I don't know if you guys touched on that, but
we'll be tight-lipped on that one. But there are definitely multi-chain plans, but there's nothing has been solidified. Nothing has been solidified. As we progress towards, as Blockbots progresses, yeah, we'll actually release more details. But yes, have there been thoughts of multi-chain Blockbots? Yeah, that's the answer to the question. And sorry, to revert back to the question you asked before, what to look forward to. Primarily, what we have, Blockbot will be live on day one. Yeah, just in case no one is aware, Blockbot will be live on day one. And then sometime after Monad's day one goes live, we'll be having the Blocknads mint. I think I want to be tight-lipped about the official mint date, but yeah, follow Blocknad's account, official Twitter account, and turn on your post notifications to see the announcement when the announcement goes live. And just in case you're wondering, Blocknads will not be collecting any wallet addresses due to the novel tech we invented in-house, which I dubbed 0WW, which simply means zero wallet whitelisting. So thanks to 0WW, the need for the collection of wallet addresses for whitelist mints have been obviated. Social media is now sufficient by itself for whitelisting. So there will be zero wallet collection on the Blocknads Discord. So it doesn't necessarily mean, so the fact there is no wallet collection does not mean that we are not ready for the mint. No, it is that there will be no wallet collection whatsoever. So if you're using that as a gauge to determine when we are going to mint, that is a wrong gauge. So look forward to Blockbots being live on day one, and then look forward to the official Blocknads mint, which will be eating our own dog food, which of which the mint will be powered by 0WW. And after that will be the standardization of 0WW, because it is my sole desire that whitelisting, wallet collection for whitelist mint will be a thing of the past. It's already a primitive method. It's something that has to go. Goodbye to missing submission deadlines and whatnot. Yeah, powered by Block Labs. Yeah.
So Crypto Toast, I couldn't hear the mint date because we didn't get a mint date, bro. Blockbot's going live.
I
think to satisfy his curiosity, the only thing we can say in regards to the mint date is just probably look out, turn on post notifications. You should get a mint date announcement sometime next week. That's the only thing that we can say. And yeah, there's also something unique we have coming on for Blocknads mainnet day one too. I think you should also look forward to that. But yeah, I think the only thing that is definitely sure is Blocknads is definitely not minting on mainnet day one. But for mint dates, tease or leak, turn on post notifications, and you should get something next week.
There you go. All right, guys, you heard it. You heard it from themselves. We don't have a date yet, so you got to follow at Blocknads and have notifications up. Then last question here, and I do want to wrap up. I've been going. This is 2.5, almost 3 hours now. But we'll get the last question from the chat. Morty, will Blocknads NFT holders be granted some exclusive Blockbot features? That's a good question. Are there any any special perks, access, things that you get, I guess, by being one of the loyal NFT holders?
All I can just say is look out. Yeah, look out.
That's it, guys. Hey, that's it. That's all we got. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Any last words you guys want to share? Obviously, let me pull this up 1 second. Obviously, we have Blocknads. Share the profile page. So at Blocknads, and then it is for Blockbot. It's at _Blockbot. So keep your eyes out for both. Give both a follow. Put the notifications on for Blocknads if you want to be on top of the mint date. And if you want to get involved with the community, I'm assuming join the Discord, be active, shoot one of you guys a DM, just make your presence known and felt. Any last words you guys want to share?
Yeah, as I always see, where we are going, so that is for the Block Labs ecosystem, as I like to call it. Defiance and innovation will be the order of the day. So if this is something that resonates with you, then the Blocknads is your home. So brace yourself. explorations are in order.
Let's go. All right. Awesome. Awesome, fellas. Thank you again, taking your time, come out. Maybe we'll do a follow-up once mainnet goes live. We can, talk about everything that's happened from now until then. So, yo, man, appreciate you guys. Have a good weekend. Have a good night.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Damn, it's been almost 3 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Look, you see what is crazy, bro.
What's the longest you've streamed?
I did 5 hours. Last
Damn.
week.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's totally right.
For his money. That's sick.
Yeah, bro. Hey, appreciate you guys. And like I said, hey, feel free to come back once mainnet goes live, and we can do an update on all the shit that's happened, from now until then, which I'm sure there's gonna be quite a bit.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, man. Take care, man.
Have a nice day.
Right.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. See you. Peace. Damn, yo. Damn. Woo! All right. That was five projects back to back to back. Hope you guys have appreciated that. We do have a total of 10 whitelists to give out. 5 whitelists for Purple testnet. Let's do a round robin. Obviously, we went through a shit ton of projects today. So I'm going to do a quick little breakdown of all the projects we spoke to, what they're doing, and how you can stay in touch with them. Again, when the market is shitty, market is slow, this is the time you want to lock in the most. First project was Hedgehog. It's a prediction market for on-chain metrics, everything from volume to gas fees to all of that. If you are a project that pays a lot of transaction fees, you can hedge against those transaction fees like a commodity. If you are a degenerate gambler, like most of us, you can, shout out Humble. We got an update. Faded Clippers just crossed 2.6 million views on X in less than a week, exactly 5 days, 4.5 to 5 days. So massive, fucking massive. All right, let's keep rounding this out. So Hedgehog, prediction market for on-chain metrics. They are being built on the Sonic blockchain. Really big farming opportunities there, not just for Sonic, but also for Hedgehog as well too. What was the next project? Next project is, one second, Purple Perpstex with Monad. Let me pull this up really quick. Purple. All right, Purple Perpstex. It's basically the benchmark Perpstex for Monad. So another really big farming opportunity, especially if you get involved with this early. Giving out 5 whitelists for testnet. I'm going to be paying attention to not just Clippers, but people who have been active and engaged within the chat. We'll give those out over the weekend. So give you guys like 2-3 days to show some interest for that. Next project we talked to was Join Sapien, basically commoditizing human data. So you can actually join earn.sapien.io right now and start doing different tasks that feed data into AI algorithms and models and get paid for it today. So yeah, that's really cool. And then if you are an enterprise client or company, corporation that needs data in order to better optimize your AI models, you can actually work with Sapien in getting some of that data. So everything from photo data, video data, to just data in general. Next project we spoke to was Rarebet Sports. Rarebet Sports, daily fantasy sports. They also won, sounds like a Monad hackathon type situation, but they won that and got a lot of recognition from that, working pretty closely with the Monad team. It's a daily fantasy sports where you are actually betting or gambling on individual player performance as opposed to the teams themselves. So you can go in there and basically do parlays across sports for individual player performance. And then last project was Blocknads /Blockbot 999 free supply NFT collection. that also has a Telegram trading bot that they're incubating with this or alongside of this as well. So, damn, banger day today, banger day. Really, really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate everybody. It took time to come. You know, I genuinely believe people that show up and participate in this type of market, in this type of economy, are going to win the most. You know, you guys are going to be the next crop of founders, builders, creators, developers that is going to be running the show in crypto. I hope you guys all know that, especially if you're coming here, learning valuable information, applying that valuable information, and always pushing yourself consistently to continue learning and growing. So, damn, I'm gonna play some quick songs. Fire, y'all. Peace out.